of the Fan.
This pregame edition of Angels Live. It is presented by Lexus. A beautiful 4th of July weekend closing out here at home before the Halos head south. It's the finale of the Angels and the Diamondbacks, and it all starts right now. Look at that. We've got a packed house all weekend long. Halos fans anxious to get into the ballpark. And here's what's coming up on the big show. We have Reid Detmers and a pair of pocket aces today. With this one, Detmers squaring off against Gallen. We'll preview the matchup. Plus, Phil Nevin, we'll hear from him. Have some injury updates. Carlin Baith will join us for more on that. And we're taking a trip in the time machine. Professor Gooby is back with another installment of Halo History Lesson, and it's a good one. You won't want to. Hello, everybody. Welcome inside the Big A. Mark Gubiza, Bobby Valentine. I am Erica Weston. The Angels looking to salvage. Yes, cheers. Cheers, gentlemen. They're looking to salvage a game in this series. Gooby, if you like pitching, you might like this one this afternoon.
Yeah, this is going to be fun. Anytime it's a day game, especially with these guys on the mound, it's going to be tough to score runs. So you just hope that Gallen makes a mistake. He's given up some home runs in day games. He hasn't been quite as crisp on the road, so runs are going to be at a premium. So one of those fly balls, get out of the ballpark early for Reid Detmers, let him settle in. He has been unbelievable his last 4 starts when ERA just barely over 1. He's been that good.
And Bobby, this is the Reid Detmers we thought we were going to get when we started this season back in spring training. I know Gooby and I were looking at him saying this is a future ace, and this month, I guess at the beginning of June, now we have turned the page into July, he has looked the part.
Yeah, I've kind of liked him the entire year, even though he's had those blips. You know, he's had a day where the bloop fell in, a couple runs scored, his control got away from him a couple times. But I think he's had consistently good stuff. And right now, he's on a roll, throwing his curveball more than he has in the past and understanding how to work with his slider and his fastball.
I mean, there's a lot to jump out of that. Opposing batting average of 135, but his whip 0.78. So that means he's not having a whole lot of traffic, and with his stuff he has, he's able to dominate with his strikeout. You mentioned that curveball, Bobby. It's made his slider that much better, and he's running that 4-seam fastball, that same plane. He starts his curveball upstairs and drops it below the strike zone, and then he runs that 4-seamer at 95, even up to 97 mile an hour. Get a lot more swing and misses and utilizing his fastball even a little bit more.
Yeah, we talk a lot about Reid's slider, the curveball that he's been throwing more. His last out, it was the fastball that he was more effective with. But Gooby, it's no surprise if you see those numbers, the month of June, how good Reid was. It's no surprise that it correlated to probably, I think it was the best record in the American League since the beginning of June for the team as a whole. His success translated to team success as well.
Well, he gives you a chance every time he takes the mound, no matter who. He's been locked up against so many really, really good pitchers. Sometimes you can't will your team to score some runs, but you give your team an opportunity to win games. And when he's been on the mound, you know, you have Shohei Otani at the top of the rotation, and Reid Detmers has been right there with him as far as overall stuff. We said it in spring training. You mentioned it a little bit ago, Erica. His stuff is that good, and it's playing just the way we thought it would be. Now he's feeling a lot more confident attacking the zone.
And Bobby, you take a look at his last time out against the White Sox. He was paired up against another ace of a squad. We'll have more on that in just a moment. But 10 punch-outs against a White Sox lineup that you know has some pop in it.
Yeah, there is right-handed pop that he dominated, throwing that fastball up, and Gooby, like you said, dropping the curveball right after it. The speed differential and the spin differential is really what matters. His slider and fastball are pretty close together, and when you see him having success on any of his pitches, I believe it's because he's throwing that curveball over the plate and getting strikes, and then once in a while a swing and a miss, and it's a dominating look for hitters.
And the common denominator on every one of those videos and watching him throw, his balance has been great. He's driving that front shoulder towards the plate. That front foot is landing right at the target at home plate. When you do that, you're not falling off, especially as a lefty, you're not falling off to that left side of the pitching mound. He's been right on target with all his pitches. I expect him to have that going here today.
And Gooby, the thing he's talked about with the slider is that he just has a better feel for it now. He likes the shapes, which is something Phil Nevin often talks about. But what is it about what he is doing that makes him better outside of changing up that pitch mix a little bit?
Eric, I think it comes down to, remember early in the season, his slider was about 92, 93 miles an hour. He is not throwing that as hard. And you can see right now what he's done lately. The 4-seam fastball, he's using it more. A little bit less on the slider, using more curveballs, just an occasional changeup and a sweeper in there. But he's been able to get a lot of swing and misses in zone. earlier in the season when he was in the zone, that slider was 93, 92, but it was a flatter slider. And that's why I think you can see right here, perfect illustration, 91-mile-an-hour slider. Yeah, it sounds good because it's hard at 91, but it's flat, middle of the zone. And then he comes right back with another slider here at 86 miles an hour. The depth on this pitch is perfect on how he's able to get people out with that and get swings and misses on a consistent basis. That swing and miss percentage has gone up considerably when he's throwing that slider just a little bit slower. You know, his four-seam fastball is going to be that almost 95 miles an hour slider at just under 90 now. Remember, it was about 90.3 there for a while. And his changeup, which he doesn't use a lot, we still think more of that sweeper on occasion, but his curveball, you're talking 76 miles per hour. That's a great illustration. That's our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. Just how good the separation between his curveball and four-seam fastball. His slider's been 86 to 89 with better depth. When he throws it harder, it looks good. We always love the velocity on pitches, but it flattens it out at 91 to 93 range. It's almost like a cutter. Now, it could be effective against some right-handed batters, but that downward depth in those 86, 88 is great.
Maybe that's good stuff, Bobby. I was going to ask you, in spring training, we saw him throwing the harder slider. I thought we all asked him, you know, hey, is there going to be any adjustment when you're throwing the slider a little bit harder? He said not really, but clearly the adjustment was go back to throwing it less hard, and it'll be a better pitch for you. Why does that difference with the velo make a change?
Okay, understand it's not about distance because there's no real distance, and it's not about time because there's not really any time between 91 and 95. You know, 90 is that blink of an eye, and then 91 is a portion of that blink of the eye. There's no time that ball's changing, but what it does is stays in the same plane as a fastball. And so you're swinging at a pitch that's a little slower, and it's in the same plane as the fastball. When you take a little off, you get more rotations, obviously, because you're going to have more time to get to the plate, and it will drop more. It will get off of the plane of the bat more, and that's a pitch that hitters fear. The slider might strike them out and break their bat once in a while, but the curveball, when Bert Blyleven's curveball came whistling by a hitter, it was like, oh my, what is that? And that's the kind of curveball Reid Detmers has.
And he learned it from his father, Chris. We know he pitched in the Cardinal system, but Gooby, he is going up against one of the best in the game, and Zach Gallen, who's a 10-game winner this season, and we're hoping that he gets 11 next week.
Yeah, I mean, he's such a good pitcher. He's around the strike zone. Yeah, his numbers aren't quite as good on the road so far, but when you look back since last season, 22-6 with an ERA, and a lot of those games are pitched in Arizona where the baseball will fly, the infield is quick, so to put up those type of numbers, he's got an ERA at home of 1.50, over 5 on the road, and he's given up some home runs in day games, but I'll tell you what, he knows how to pitch. He's not going to wow you with velocity of 92, 96, but his curveball, slider, and changeup combo, and he uses them all. He's around the strike zone. He keeps the ball down. He keeps the ball in the ballpark. It remains to be seen how that goes today with the baseball flying here in the day game.
Yeah, Bobby, what gives, right? 5 home runs allowed in 5 straight starts. He's allowed 5 home runs this season during day games. We know the ball flies here during the afternoon, and hey, maybe Mike Rochelle will get into one this afternoon against Gallen.
Well, I think it's a perfect mix for the lineup that really has been cold, save for a couple home runs and a little spectacular play by Otani. I think it's time for them to come out together and do it against a real good pitcher who, like Gooby says, throws strikes, has great stuff, but throws it in the zone. In the last few games, the team's been swinging at a lot of first pitches and giving length to the starting pitcher. Well, this guy's going to get length anyway, so it is good to attack him early to get those pitches that are going to be in the middle of the plate.
And on the road, his whip is about 1.375. At home, it's well under 1. So there's more traffic so far for whatever reason on the road against Zach Gallen. So when he has that traffic, that's when you try to lift the ball and get one out of the ballpark. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes, so you got to be ready as a hitter to go out there and attack. And these are the kind of fun games, and that's why, even though if you read Detmers, you would love to have like 10, 12 runs every single game, but he's been locked up against the best, and that's what's going to bring out the best in him. Even though his win-loss record, he just moves on. because the other numbers are really, really solid. And that's why I think he's going to be really good here today.
And you wonder if that is sort of up the ante for Reid. We know he can be good anytime he's going out there, but these last 3 times out, it's Clayton Kershaw, it's Dylan Cease, and today he's going up against Gallen. So you've got an opportunity to face the other team's ace, Scooby. You can speak to that because you've had experience in that as well.
And I think when you look at those starts he's had against Kershaw and against Cease, he actually pitched better than both of them. And both of those guys are outstanding pitchers. When you're a pitcher, you get locked in. I know they'll always say, well, you're not facing Kershaw, you're not facing Cease at the plate. You also know you're not going to get a whole lot of run support, so your focus level is that much greater during the course of a game. So every batter, 1 through 9, there's no letdown as a pitcher, because if you make one mistake, you're going to lose the game when you're facing those guys. So I love going against, when I was playing, it was Randy Johnson, it was Roger Clemens. You're going to get locked in. You're not going to get a lot of run support, but your job as a starting pitcher is to give your team a chance to win, and that's all you want is your teammates to support you and say, thanks for giving us a shot to win, and that's what Reid Detmers been doing.
I feel pretty comfortable with Reid on the mound, but Bobby, that start that he had against Clayton Kershaw, we know that he was his idol growing up, but Kershaw said after the game, well, he actually pitched better than I did, and the line said so too. Reid saved a screenshot of that tweet, by the way. He's going to keep that one forever, but it means something to him for sure to be going pitch for pitch against these guys.
Without a doubt. And I just want to mention, though, as Scooby mentioned, a little run support. When Reid was trying to break through that ceiling, oh, he can't get through the third part of the order, or he's not going to go long in the game, and all that stuff. I wasn't buying into it. I said, give him a few runs early in the game and let the kid run. He didn't need the runs. What he needed was some aces to go up against, just like you're saying, Erica. Yeah. And that's been the thing, that the impetus that's put him over the hump. It's been great watching the development of this young man.
I absolutely love that he's going up against another ace today. Gooby, speaking of aces, our ace has got to go because you got a game to call.
I can't wait. These are the fun games, because this is the game where like a Mike Trout or Shohei Otani is going to shine. The other guys need to go in to do the same thing, but you just feel they're going to catch one of those mistakes by Gallen, and that's going to be the difference in the game.
Go shine up there in the booth.
Yes, I will.
Wayne is waiting for you.
It's nice and cool down here.
Yeah, we know. We don't know. We're not noticing that at all.
He did call Rendon's home run yesterday on the pitch, on the spot. Yes, he did during the telecast.
He tends to be smart like that. Thank you, Gooby. All right,
good luck.
Get out of here. Go on upstairs. Thanks for joining us. Carlin Faith will join us next to talk about Brandon Drury and some injury updates. Stay with us.
Good job,
Crawford, shortstop with the Seattle Mariners.
J.P. Crawford flexes his muscles.
I love my experience competing in the pitch, hit, and run when I was a kid. It helped me believe in my skills as a player.
The 1-2 on the way to J.P. And the Mariners win it!
Go show yourself what you're made of and make your way to the national finals at the World Series. Sign up for a free competition near you at pitchhitandrun.com.
All the excitement, glamour, and fashion. The biggest stars of the game arrive in style for the MLB All-Star Red Carpet Show. Before they flash the leather on the field, they'll flash the style on the carpet. Catch interviews and behind-the-scenes moments with all the All-Star glitz and glam. Lights, camera, fashion. The MLB All-Star Red Carpet Show, July 11th on MLB Network. Presented by T-Mobile. MLB Tonight, the ultimate late-night baseball party. See the night's biggest moments, the best interviews.
We all love DJ Dan.
And cutting-edge analysis from TV's best.
This one takes the cake. That is awesome.
MLB Tonight, late nights on MLB Network.
California Lexus dealers experience amazing, and today is amazing as the Angels hoping to close out this home part of July 4th weekend with a win. Shohei Otani getting ready but there are unfortunately some more injury updates that we have with this Halos team. Some infielders have been dealing with some injuries over the course of the last couple of weeks. For more on that and a different look at the lineup today, we welcome in Carlin Baith. Carlin, I know Drury was out yesterday. Is he still dealing with some issues with that shoulder?
Sure is, Erica. You know, after being out for 2 consecutive games today, he was actually placed on the injured list. He suffered a left shoulder contusion in Thursday's game against the White Sox, and he spoke with the media earlier today to let us know when exactly it happened, how he's feeling, and when he hopes to return. Let's hear from Brandon right now.
Hoping each day I'd come to the field it'd be good enough to play, and right now it's just you know, hurting where I feel like I can't go out there and you know, help the team win. So right now I'm just going to do my treatments, and hopefully it gets better each day.
Do you feel like just getting through having the All-Star break maybe kind of makes this the right move, just because you'll have the extra weeks just to get 100%?
Yeah, I think the All-Star break's huge. Get the extra 5 days to rest it and treat it, and get it back feeling better for the second half.
So it happened on a diving player. Can you kind of take us to what happened at that?
Yeah, it's Grandal hit the ball in the hole, and I dove and landed on it. Really weird. Had like super sharp pain. The rest of the game, it was just kind of kept getting worse. I just tried to battle through it, but then the next couple days after, it's been sore and hurt worse. So just gonna, like I said, treat it and do everything I can to get back as soon as I can.
Has it improved in the last couple days?
Yeah, I have more range of.
And Phil Nevin told us last night, you know, Brandon does not take himself out of games. He watched him play 2.5 weeks with a broken hand. He's seen him play through an oblique injury, and I asked Brandon off camera, you know, how does this rank in terms of what he's dealt with before? This one's not good, guys. He's hoping that All-Star break, like he mentioned, will really set himself up to come back strong enough to play one of the first games after the break ends. But they've got the tools in the lineup. I know you guys are going to be talking about that in a second. There's plenty of people who can hit to make up for what he was bringing to the lineup. Erica?
Very true, Carlin. Thanks so much for that. We'll look forward to seeing you during today's telecast. Bobby, we know how important Brandon Drury has been to this lineup. He's been one of the best in June with runners in scoring position, but that's why you go out and you make deals to get Mike Moustakas and Eduardo Escobar, because they've had so much injury issues with that infield depth.
Yeah, you have to be prepared, and if you're not prepared, you'll get caught, you know. I won't say it, but you'll get caught. So, you know, it seems like Perry Manassian was prepared here, went out and got some veterans just in case. Remember that Daniel Murphy was signed to go down to AAA, also another veteran, just to make sure you're covered during these times, because these times always crop up. And Erica, in case people are wondering what it was that he hurt, he says his shoulder, left shoulder, as you extend, you saw that his left elbow hit the ground rather abruptly, and that pushes up into the shoulder joint, and that's this left shoulder that he swings with, plays with. There's no reason for him to rush that thing back.
No, don't rush it. And it's I don't want to say it's perfect timing, because you never want to time out an injury, but the good news is that the break is right around the corner. So you're looking at the return of Drury, hopefully after the All-Star break. You're looking at Zach Neto, who once again was out on the field today, taking some ground balls, doing some work, and hopefully Ben Joyce, who's continued to throw with that ulnar neuritis starting to feel better. So there is good news with the break just around the corner, that they're going to get a lot of these guys back.
Yeah, indeed. And the danger of that is having that group think in the clubhouse start thinking that the break is just around the corner. There are a few roadblocks before you get to the corner, and they have to go through those roadblocks successfully.
Yeah, we do have a couple of tough challenges next week in San Diego and the Freeway Series to close it out before the All-Star break. Good stuff, Bobby. Stay with us, because when we return, our favorite professor is coming back with another installment of Halo History Lesson with Gooby. You don't want to miss it. Stay with us.
If you love baseball, you need to watch Baseball's Show of Record, MLB Tonight.
We've got a bunch of games kicking off.
Who gets you ready to start the evening? these guys.
With Harold Reynolds, I'm Adnan Burke. Good to have you with us.
Join Harold and Adnan for a first look at the night's matchups.
Shohei Otani. We're going to talk about this guy forever.
First take from the players.
Carl, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
And the first of many breakdowns.
Let's put this in perspective.
Then, as your game night continues, stay tuned for the ultimate late-night baseball party. With live look-ins to the night's biggest moments.
MLB Tonight takes you live inside the park.
The best interviews.
I've never asked a player, you need a blanket? It is kind of cold out there.
And cutting-edge analysis from TV's best former players fresh off the field.
Get your hands up.
There's nothing quite like MLB Tonight.
That is awesome.
This one takes the cake.
This is going to be a big deal tonight.
Exactly. You can't top that.
MLB Tonight, every night on MLB Network.
Southern California Lexus dealers experience amazing on this beautiful Sunday fun day. Halos baseball. We're going back in time for another installment of Gooby's Halo history lesson. This one, Francisco Rodriguez and his historic 08 season.
Angels fans, do you remember the record-setting save season of Francisco Rodriguez? Let's go back in time right now. This is Gooby's Halo history lesson. Halo fans, listen up. Francisco Rodriguez was born in Caracas, Venezuela in 1982, and at the age of 24 became the youngest player to log 100 saves between 2002 and 2006. Then, in 2007, K-Rod had his third 40-save season. Now we hit the supernatural year, 2008. Frankie set the new bar, making his third All-Star game while already logging 35 saves at the midway point. By August 20th, he beat his and the Angels' single-season record with 48 saves. On September 2nd, K-Rod saved his 200th career game, which was save number 54 of the season, now just one shy of Ert Gagne's 55, which he would soon surpass. Then, on September 11, 2008 versus Seattle, Frankie ties Bobby Thigpen's MLB single-season record of 57 saves. And then 2 days later, on September 13th, against the Mariners, he again set the new mark with 58 saves. Being there that day was the most remarkable thing I've seen. Talking to Frankie after the game, he couldn't believe what he just did. Frankie Rodriguez ended the season with 62 saves in 69 opportunities, along with a 2.24 ERA, a record that still stands today. If you didn't know now you know. That's Gooby's Halo history lesson.
Oh, Bobby, if you don't know, now you know. Thank you to Gooby. 62 saves. What do you remember about that incredible 08 season?
Yeah, it's amazing to think that a closer could be in 80 games. That really mattered, not just the game getting some work. And he was in those games, and he performed as well as anyone in the history, obviously. That's why he's at the top of the list in the book.
He sure is, and the Angels are blessed with another incredible closer. this season. And Carlos Estevez here's hoping we see him out here at the end of this ball game today. Stay with us. You don't want to miss what's coming up next. First pitch soon. Reid Detmers on the bump. We'll take a look at both the Angels and the Diamondbacks lineups after the break.
Celebrate All-Star Week with MLB Network. Leading off, it's the HBCU Swingman Classic on Friday. Then take a first look at baseball's future stars during the first round of the MLB Draft. Get a preview of the big game across all your favorite MLB Network programs. And see the glitz and glamour of the MLB All-Star Red Carpet Show. Don't miss an All-Star Weekend moment. Starting Friday at 10:30 Eastern on MLB Network.
MLB Tonight has all the bases covered, with live look-ins, highlights, and breakdowns.
MLB Tonight takes you live inside the park.
Every night on MLB Network.
The day after the Angels win at home, fans can redeem free medium fries with a $1 minimum purchase at participating SoCal McDonald's. All you have to do is download and register on the McDonald's app. Nothing like some Mickey D's fries. 4th of July weekend as we get you closer and closer to first pitch, the finale between the Angels and the Diamondbacks. Bobby, let's take a look at the D-backs lineup today. And how about this? Still no Corbin Carroll. We were expecting him to come back today. He's out with that sore shoulder. I did it again 2 days in a row, but he's not in there today.
Yes, sore shoulders are tough. I get that, and he's not in
More
there.
ways than one.
That's the good news. And I think the other good news is that this lineup's ready to break out, even though it's their ace.
They are ready to break out, but Reid Detmers is going to have to be on his game to keep them down. We get Dominic and David Fletcher squaring off against each other one more time. Right, Bobby?
Go brother and brother, mano y mano. One eluded the shortstop. Hopefully one will elude the outfielder.
It's our turn. Thanks for joining us this pregame edition of Angels Live. We'll see you after the game. Wayne Randazzo, Mark Gubicza on the call. Enjoy.
I'ma do what? That's on me. Me and boy, but I keep it OG. No, you can't shine if you stay low key. That's on me, on me, on me. I'ma do what? That's on me. Me and boy, but I keep it OG. No, you can't shine if you stay low key. That's on me, on me, on me. Didn't want that same, but that's on me. Built the house, I got the keys. They say you can't shine if you stay low key. That's on me, on me.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
It's a nice steady rhythm to the games now with the pitch timer. Can't look away.
And the pitch. And a ground ball toward the home base hit. They're going to wave him in. He is saved. A walk-off wild one. Oh, wow.
This is Chris Bryant. This is Christopher Russo. And this is the High Heat Hot Seat. Chris Bryant plays hard so he doesn't end up here. High Heat with Christopher Russo, helping players play harder on MLB Network.
of your team. The heart of LA, Valley Sports West. The heart of the fan.
It's a beautiful day for a day game in Southern California. Today, the finale of this three-game series. The Los Angeles Angels take on the Arizona Diamondbacks from Angel Stadium. Alongside Mark Gubicza, I'm Wayne Randazzo, and Gubi, a tough first two games for the Angels in this series against the Diamondbacks. They'll try to wake the bats up today, but it won't be easy against Zach Gallen.
Yeah, Zach Gallen has been really good. A 10-game winner this season. Hasn't been quite as crisp on the road, and with a day game here today, you just got to make sure you capitalize on a mistake he makes today and be able to win this game.
Well, Reid Detmers has been pretty crisp lately for the Angels.
Oh, he's been unbelievable, Wayne, in his last four starts. He's got an ERA barely over 1.05. His whip has been outstanding. His strikeouts to innings pitched, he's been great. Opponent's batting average, #1 in the game during that stretch. 136 for Reid Detmers, a whip of 0.78, so he has been dominant. He's given his team a chance to win. He's been locked up against some very good pitchers like he is here again today.
And is another ace facing Detmers in this one. But the last two times out was Clayton Kershaw on the 20th of June. Detmers pitched great, and then again with Dylan Cease opposing him in his last start.
And I think he pitched better than both of them. Clayton Kershaw said the same thing. He felt that Reid Detmers was a little bit better than Clayton Kershaw, which is amazing. He was a little bit better than Dylan Cease. Just not a lot of run support, but you know that going in when you're facing a guy like Zach Gallen here today. So you got to be on your game and make sure you face everybody 1 through 9 as if every guy can hurt you.
Now, Gallen has really emerged as a star in the National League. He's trying to match Shane McClanahan for the most wins in the majors today, which would be his 11th if he got there. So this is a tough test facing Gallen this afternoon.
And what he's done really over his last couple of seasons, Wayne, he's been really, really good. One of the best pitchers of the game. He's around the strike zone. He's not going to overpower you with velocity on his fastball, but he controls his zone, the edges so well. 22-6 over the last couple of seasons here, 2.72. A winning percentage, you see a third best in baseball at 786. He uses his curveball, he uses his slider, he uses his changeup, and he keeps the baseball in the ballpark. Only 7 home runs allowed this season.
So the Angels and Diamondbacks wrapping up this three-game series today. Arizona's won the first two despite that bomb from Shohei Otani on Friday night. The Angels will try to get their bats going here this afternoon against the D-backs.
Hey kids, join MLB Network and your favorite players for a show made just for you. Play ball. It's all the big moments, bat flips, and amazing plays from an exciting week of baseball and tips to up your game on MLB Network.
The power of baseball goes beyond the field.
What an exciting time.
Stand up,
Together.
Together.
MLB Big Inning brings you the biggest plays of the night, live as they happen. Don't miss the ultimate baseball highlight reel. It's nonstop action on MLB Big Inning, every night on MLB.tv.
Baseball and Valley Sports brought to you by Hyundai. It's your journey on every mile in a brand new Hyundai. By the OC Healthcare Agency, build your healthiest self at angels.ocnavigator.org. And by your local Southern California Cadillac dealers. It's time to get out to the beach and the ballpark as the Angels play the last one in this 3-game set against the Arizona Diamondbacks. The Angels have had a tough time scoring runs so far in this series. Just a total of 3 runs put up in the 2 games by the Angels offense. Really, that has been the unit that has carried the Angels this year. So they'll try to get the bats going today with Zach Gallen starting for Arizona. And for the Angels, it is Reid Detmers. So it should be a good pitching matchup here this afternoon as Shohei is all smiles, and why shouldn't he be? He's the best player in the world right now.
Amazing what he's doing. I'm looking down the field right now. There's a lot of kids on the field waiting for the Angels to take the field. This is a great moment for these youngsters. This is fun here today. Afternoon game. See if the Angels will be able to pull this one out before heading down to San Diego.
Should be a nice time down in San Diego for the 4th of July. A couple of geographic rivals at least, although the Angels and Padres don't play each other a lot. Still pretty close to one another down here, so we'll see how that series goes as the Padres continue their struggles in 2023. Meanwhile, Detmers has really turned things around over his last 4 starts.
And it's all going back to his command of his slider. He's not overthrowing that. His curveball has been excellent, and the fastball velocity, he's running that fastball consistently upper quadrants of the strike zone. So the changing of the speeds with the curveball has been excellent. My go-tos for Detmers to continue this role and make it 5 straight games of absolute dominance. Is keep that trust in the upper zone with his fastballs. A lot of swing and misses. He's been getting career highs as far as chases and swing and misses with his fastball upstairs, and then vary the speeds on his slider. 86 to 89 seems to be the sweet spot for that breaking ball and the downward tilt with his slider.
Take a look at the Diamondbacks lineup again without Corbin Carroll. That shoulder soreness keeps him out of the lineup for a 3rd straight day. So the Diamondbacks, who have been able to manage a couple of wins without Carroll, will try to do that again today. David Fletcher's brother Dominic had a big hit yesterday for Arizona. He's hitting 7th and playing right field. Today for Torey Lovullo, the former Angel, was with the team in 1993. I forget they have Damian Easley too on their coaching staff.
Mike Fetter is also another former Halo. Take a look at their Easton and Easton Angels defense here in this warm afternoon. Mike Trout out in center field. He has robbed 14 home runs, most in baseball over the last 20 seasons for Trout. Word next to him, Moniak out in right field. You got Rendon, Fletcher, Escobar playing second here today. Moustakas back at first. Matty Theis behind the plate. But Mike Trout been great as far as bringing back those would-be home runs. Just routine outs for Trout 14 times.
You know, Mickey Moniak's always looking to climb a wall too out there in right field, so we'll see if that's needed today as the Angels try to salvage one here against the Diamondbacks before moving forward to San Diego, then Dodger Stadium, then the All-Star break. Not far away, a week from today, the Angels will be starting their All-Star break. Ketel Marte stands in to start this one against Detmers. Swing and a miss on the first pitch fastball as we are underway.
It's like how free and easy he is with his delivery right now. Balance over the pitching rubber. He's staying on top of the baseball well, and it's landing, that front foot is landing right towards his target.
There's a strike over the inside corner at the top of the zone, and Detmers gets ahead 0-2 on Marte, who has been on base safely in 24 consecutive games. He has scored 30 runs since the beginning of June. That's the most in the majors. Waves and misses, and Reid Detmers off to a dominant start. Strikes out a potential all-star on 3 pitches.
And right on cue as far as shaking a little bit off the slider with better depth. 2 fastballs, and then he throws that slider at 87 miles an hour on top. Great break to it. Big punch out to start the game.
Almost certainly Ketel Marte will be named an all-star when those rosters are revealed later today. It's Kyle Lewis taking a first pitch curveball strike. Lewis, the 2020 Rookie of the Year in the American League, has had a lot of knee trouble since then. He's back in the big leagues. Got on base 3 times yesterday as the Diamondbacks had plenty of base runners last night. Only managed 3 runs. That was enough in a 3-1 win. Good Fastball there as Detmers gets ahead 1-2.
Well, he's been able to be real confident in hitting that spot and getting swing and misses with his fastball, even in zone, that upper part of the strike zone.
First time a Diamondback has at least gotten past a 3-pitch count here. Detmers struck out Marte on 3 pitches. And a chance there on Lewis. And now with 1-2. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes on the DH today for Arizona.
Just a little quicker on that delivery of his curveball. Grab back and grab that rosin bag.
Detmers in his last 4 straight starts has had at least 8 strikeouts, giving up 1 or no runs. Lewis with a fly ball. This is hit well. Trout is going back for it. He's all the way at the wall, and he makes the catch right in front of the fence. Well, you talked about Mike's home run robberies. Almost needed to climb up for that, but he was right there at the base of the wall.
Yeah, he was getting ready. He's ready to bring that one back. There's a curveball he made a quick adjustment to, and same thing with Lewis. He stayed back on that curveball after he saw the one before, and Trout right back to the wall, was ready. Didn't quite have to bring it back, though.
That's a symbol of how the ball is going to carry today. It could be a high-scoring effort despite the pitchers. Well, 1 to Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Now 2-0. Gurriel was hitless yesterday, but had the big hit on Friday, a grand slam that gave the Diamondbacks a 5-0 lead early in that game.
Going back to it so often, you'll see that with 2 quick outs and you fall behind 2-0. See if he can come back in this one. Gurriel is going to be swinging here 3-0 if it's anything near his zone.
Diamondbacks have scored 9 runs in this series, 8 with 2 outs. And now they have another 2-out base runner on a walk from Detmers. That puts Gurriel aboard and brings up the cleanup batter Christian Walker, who had a 13-game hitting streak coming into this series, and he has yet to have a hit over the first 2 games.
You always think of what happens as a pitcher, and anybody who's ever been on the mound, you always have those times in a game where you get 2 quick outs like that, and then next thing you know, you're falling behind a 2-0 on that third batter. You're not quite through that inning at that point. So you got to keep the focus, especially when you're locked up against a guy like Zach Gallen on the other side.
Detmers ahead quickly on Walker 0-2. Getting back to that streak for Detmers, 8 strikeouts or more and 1 or no runs allowed in 4 straight starts. So it ties an Angels record set twice by Nolan Ryan and once by Shohei Otani. The American League record is 5. Randy Johnson, CC Sabathia, Chris Sale, the only American League pitchers to ever do that.
Impressive company right now for Detmers.
See what Detmers has done over this 4-start span where he's put up those totals. Those numbers go back to June 8th. Walker hits it right back in front of our booth and off one of the monitors.
And it was not my glove, I promise.
The ball landed harmlessly from there. You never know when the ball's going to strike a monitor and then ricochet off one of our noses.
I was anticipating that happening.
That one was not hit as hard as Fletcher's in the last homestand, but it's the ricochet that you really worry about. Is that ball juice? Check it.
No, I'm thinking I get some pretty good spin on this one, though.
Swing and a miss. Walker strikes out on a fastball, and Detmers fans 2 in a scoreless top of the first.
Create amazing work with Fiverr. All you need is your team and a talented freelancer who will lend a hand and seamlessly join your team from just about anywhere. Expand your team with a Fiverr freelancer.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
To get your best night's sleep, you need to sleep in something extraordinary. Woven with a silky softness unlike any other. From organic threads that are slow spun and finished in flame. Made from an ingredient so rare, less than 1% of the world's cotton meets our quality. It's the most extraordinary fabric ever made. Only from Boll & Branch.
Prescription eyewear can be really expensive, but here's a secret. Glasses don't actually cost that much to make. Surprise! Especially when you design your own eyewear and then sell it directly to your customers. Like we do. Oh, hi, we're Warby Parker.
Show you the Angels 1 through 9 based on WOBA weighted on base average. Shohei Otani standing out as he often does. Top 3 in the order have done well this year. Mickey Moniak has had a bit of a slide lately, but Mike Trout swinging the bat pretty well as the Angels try to get things started today against Zach Gallen, very likely all-star in the National League.
Yeah, 92-96 with his fastball. Curveball, there's a cutter, slider, changeup. Very, very effective around the strike zone. My go-to is to have success against Gallen here today, and it's going to be a battle because you got to power his cutter. 322 slugging at 525 at a couple home runs versus his cutter, and it creates some doubt on the road so far this season. His ERA 5.08 on the road, but just 1.50 at home.
Certainly some aggressive home road splits from Gallen as he starts. Moniak with a strike. Gallen is an extreme strike thrower. It started out when he was just a kid. Gallen grew up in New Jersey near Philadelphia, and he had a great drill that he did with his dad. It's called 3-0. Essentially, his dad would say, well, the count's 3-0. You better throw 3 straight strikes or we're starting over. So he was, as a young man, impressioned about throwing strikes. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Mickey Moniak.
I just took the opposite direction. I just said, well, it's 3-0 as usual. Let's go ahead and walk him. And I'll get a double play after that.
Swing and a miss. There's the good curve from Gallen as he strikes out Mickey Moniak.
Defense for the Diamondbacks here today. They got some guys that can cover some ground. Gurriel out in left, but Thomas out in center field. He's got 1 outfield. It says 5 in his career. He can cover some serious ground out in center field. Fletcher in right field. Longoria, Med, Marte, Walker in the infield, and Kelly, Carson Kelly behind the plate. If you get some base runners, you might want to try to steal some bases against him here today. He's allowed 8 stolen bases, none caught so far. Ahmed's really, really good at shortstop too, so there's pretty good defense. Some gold gloves over on that left side of the infield for the Diamondbacks.
It's a good team. They have a lot of bases covered. They won their 50th game yesterday, joining Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and Texas as 50-win ball clubs so far this year.
Atlanta won again today.
High fly ball off the bat of Mike Trout. This one going a long way. It is 1-0 Angels as Mike Trout rips his 18th home run this year.
Boy, that made it out to the palm trees out in left center field for Trout. Kind of reference on that in the pregame show. You need your guys in Mike Trout and Shohei Otani to lead the way against a pitcher like Gallen. That's his 6th home run he's allowed now in day games. Mike Trout all over that one. Number 18 for the All-Star. Crushed it.
Continues what's been a good run for Trout. Hitting .333 over his last 12 games. His 4th home run in that time. Otani slicing one out of play to the left side as Trout puts the Angels on top.
Boy, to stayed on that one right there, and Trout lifts that out. 108.2 miles per hour exit velocity, going 436.
He's only the 8th home run allowed by Gallen this year, but he's given up 1 in 6 straight starts now.
And that's going to be the lower part of the strike zone. If it's in the zone and it's a lower part of the strike zone, there's a good chance that Trout's going to hit it a long way.
The Angels trying to find some offense. There's Mike Trout's 368th career home run. He'll catch Hall of Famer Ralph Kiner and potential Hall of Famer Todd Helton on the all-time home run list with his next homer. Otani chases on the curveball, so Gallen has struck out the 2 lefties he has faced, but he's given up a home run to the right-hander Trout.
You can see where he's got that good downward action on his knuckle curve. He gets a swing and missile now, and a couple of them already in this game. I mean, there were 43 strikeouts on his curveball. By the way, that's a 93rd home run that Mike Trout has hit in the first inning in his career. Now passing Miguel Cabrera on that list as far as active players with home runs in the first inning.
Anthony Rendon hit a homer last night. He looks at a strike here. Gallen, one of the best home run rates in the majors this year, but he only allowed 2 home runs through the first 2 months of the season. Since the beginning of June, he's given up 6.
And our Hyundai key for the game today, the power station. Some like it hot. Well, you know what? Mike Trout seems to like it hot right here. Home run in the first inning. The baseball will carry, so batters today, if you get some lift on it, there could be some distance.
2 balls and a strike on Rendon. Gallen at his best, like most pitchers are when they are ahead in the count, but he's behind here. Evens it up with a strike that touches the inside corner.
Or close by.
Rendon wants a timeout. Doug Eddings, the home plate umpire, normally gives some extra space to the pitchers. Hopefully he's worked on that foul tip thing since, you know, back then.
There you go.
Rendon spoils the curveball, and it's still 2 balls and 2 strikes. Rendon with a home run yesterday, but also with an error that came up to be a big play in the game. Arizona took the lead on a wide throw. Full count now on Rendon. There's ball 4, so Rendon battles back from Gallen trying to put him away and earns a walk. That's the first free pass issued by Gallen this afternoon.
It's his 23rd walk of the season for Anthony Rendon. So go back to what Trout has done in the first inning. It's amazing. 93 times homering in the first inning. He's not letting that pitcher settle in.
It speaks to the aggressiveness from Angels hitters when they see pitches that they like. And Trout's kind of set that standard.
I mentioned the Braves, how well they've been playing. They score a ton of runs in the first inning. They hit a lot of home runs in the first inning. Set the tone for your starting pitcher when you can score some runs early.
Mike Moustakas, the batter now, as he fouls one off. Moustakas had the day off yesterday, though he would have pinched hit in the bottom of the 9th inning had that inning extended to the spot in the order where he was going to come up. He would have been the pinch hitter for Rengifo late in the game. The Angels had to put Brandon Drury on the IL today.
That's a big hit because he's been so good for the Angels, and he has crushed the baseball. A ton of extra base hits.
Moustakas punches out. 3 strikeouts in the inning for Gallen, but a long home run from Mike Trout, giving the Angels a 1-0 lead with a 436-foot blast, number 18 on the year for Trout. The Angels up by 1.
When the details take precedence, the rest falls perfectly into place. We strip away everything but the essential, and what we're left with are thoughtful bedrooms for modern living. Thuma.
Sure, you'll teach her to drive a car, then use Greenlight and teach her to save up for her own car. Mowing lawns and getting paid. Navigate the world of earning, saving, and investing together. Invest in your best investment. Greenlight.
ED is difficult for me and for my partner. Through HIMS, I can message a licensed provider about clinically proven ED treatments. Like the generic form of Viagra, which can cost 90% less than the brand name version. Then HIMS ships discreetly to my door for free. I never knew it could be this easy to get my confidence back. Now we can both count on a great experience every time. Start your free visit today at forhims.com.
Welcome to the Aura Sleep Lab. You need a bit more deep sleep. Getting enough high-quality sleep increases immunity. Why? Because sleep helps fend off sickness. A good night's sleep boosts your number of infection-fighting antibodies and cells. And with your Aura Ring, you can learn how to sleep deep and keep your immunity up. It's like having a sleep lab on your finger. Go to sleep with auraring.com.
Trout has hit a home run to put them on top. Now Reid Detmers will take them out at the top of the second to try to keep it 1-0. Evan Longoria, the 37-year-old veteran, had an RBI in the game on Friday.
Been pretty patient, a couple breaker balls start this at bat.
Longoria hit a home run earlier in the week against his former team, the Rays. Gave Longoria a home run against all 30 teams. Just the 70th player to homer against the 30 active major league teams. Three balls and 1 strike on Longoria. Undrafted out of high school, ended up at Long Beach State, and he was the number 3 overall pick in 2006. Said something clicked and he just learned how to hit while he was at Long Beach.
Yeah, a lot of great players came out of Long Beach State, continue to do so.
Ball 4 from Detmers. That's the second walk issued. And the leadoff man is on for Arizona.
Time to take a look at the pitch arsenal for Reid Detmers. Take a look at our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. 42%, 4-seam fastball, 37 with his slider, curveball at 18%, just under 3% with his changeup, occasional sweeper. But lately, though, he's been getting a lot of swing and misses and whiffs versus his slider and curveball. That's picked up during this really good stretch he's on. And in a warm afternoon like today, you want to limit the amount of pitches thrown on the mound. So you'd love to be able to get a ground ball at an infielder here now to get a double play ball. You just don't want to throw a lot of pitches to be out there that long on a warm afternoon.
Kia player profiles. We see how Detmers' slider has gotten him more swings and misses this year, throwing it a lot more. High fly ball off the bat of Carson Kelly as Ward goes back to the wall, and that's gone. Carson Kelly has his first home run of the year. And after the Angels grab 1 in the first, the Diamondbacks come right back with 2 in the second.
That leadoff walk again comes around to score, and then Carson Kelly had a fastball in the inner part of the plate, so both pitchers have given up home runs here. He's off the plate looking and inviting a pitcher to go that inner part of the plate, and that's where his power is going to be. And just like that, Diamondbacks have the lead.
Carson Kelly, who didn't hit much last year for Arizona, missed the first couple months of this year with a forearm fracture. He's come back. He has shared the catching duties with Gabriel Moreno, who was impressive yesterday. Kelly has his first home run this year, so the Diamondbacks are in front. Dominic Fletcher unable to hold his swing on that pitch. Arizona tends to score a lot of runs early and late. Maybe they just score a lot of runs, period. From the 6th inning on, they are second in the major leagues in runs scored for the year. In the first 2 innings, they're second in the major leagues in runs scored over the last couple of weeks.
We talked about how the baseball will carry even with dominant pitchers on the mound. So if you make a mistake, Gallen was down in the middle of the zone against Trout. And then Kelly with that fastball in the inner half and elevated against Reid Detmers.
Swing and a miss as Fletcher couldn't catch up to that high fastball in on his hands. And Detmers has his 3rd strikeout.
But as great as Detmers has been over those last 4 starts, it's the time where your offense can pick you up here. So he's got to be able to get through this. Good comeback here against Fletcher, getting a strikeout on a fastball upstairs. And just like Gallen, Reid Detmers doesn't give up a lot of home runs himself. That was just his 8th home run allowed this season.
And 3 balls, no strikes on Nick Ahmed, the shortstop for the Diamondbacks. Multiple Gold Glove winner.
It's already 2 walks in the game for Detmers today. Trying to get right back in the count. 3-0 now.
Drops in a strike, and it's 3-1. Ahmed stays alive, fouling off that pitch from Detmers, who had a walk and 2 strikeouts in the 1st inning, but a walk and a home run here in the 2nd. As Detmers gives up multiple runs in a game for the first time since June 1st. Strikes out Ahmed. It's back-to-back Ks for Detmers after the Carson Kelly home run.
Coming on a slider. 1 before, fastball. 6 strikeouts with his 4-seam fastball, the 10 strikeouts last time. Back door with that slider.
Ground ball off the bat of Alec Thomas. Moustakas had to hustle back to the bag, but he's there to win the inning. Carson Kelly, though, a home run, and the Diamondbacks have the lead.
Celebrate All-Star Week with MLB Network. Leading off, it's the HBCU Swingman Classic on Friday. Then take a first look at baseball's future stars during the first round of the MLB Draft. Get a preview of the big game across all your favorite MLB Network programs. And see the glitz and glamour of the MLB All-Star Red Carpet Show. Don't miss an All-Star Weekend moment. Starting Friday at 10:30 Eastern on MLB Network.
Carlin Baith here with an injury update for you. Brandon Drury placed on the IL today after missing 2 consecutive games, suffering a shoulder injury in Thursday's game against the White Sox. He dove for a ball, landed on that left shoulder there, and it's a left shoulder contusion. And he's hoping to return the first game back after the All-Star break, hoping to use that All-Star break to regain that motion, feel comfortable again, and have a strong second half of the season. And guys, I mentioned in the pregame, Phil Nevin said he does not take himself out of games. He's watched him play 2.5 weeks with a broken hand and an injured oblique as well. So this must be pretty serious for him to be out like this.
Yeah, he's as tough as they come, and it's so important too to the lineup. Drives the ball exceptionally well to right center. He's played some really, really good defense at second.
Well, the Angels will certainly miss having Drury in there. Well, they do hope that it's short term. He can rest really for a couple of weeks and only miss 8 games or so because of the All-Star break. Taylor Ward punches out. Zach Gallen has 4 outs. They've all been strikeouts so far.
And he's got that knuckle curve working today. A whiff percentage of 45.2% with his curveball, his knuckle curve.
Gallen can be a strikeout pitcher at times. He's had 3 double-digit strikeout games this year. They were all in April. A 12 strikeout game against the Royals, 11 against the Brewers, 11 against the Padres. He's not had more than 7 in an outing since then. Theis couldn't hold his swing, and it's 5 strikeouts for Gallen in the first inning and 2/3.
You can see how well he manipulates the strike zone and then gets you to chase above the zone. Take a look at his pitch arsenal. Shown by StatCast 3D, powered by Google Cloud. 46% four-seamer, knuckle curve at 26%. He'll throw his cutter 15, changeup at 14%, occasional sinker. And after getting some swings on curveballs down, he goes fastball up. Hits the punch out.
Eduardo Escobar hits one hard to deep right field. Back for it at the wall is Fletcher. It's over his head. And Escobar slams the brakes as Fletcher with a strong arm gets it in. Escobar just missed a homer, settles for a long single.
Boy, that was crushed off the bat. Not much of an opportunity to get an extra base hit. Fletcher played it well. It was 106.7 off the bat and off the wall. And Fletcher gets it in quickly. Wise decision, too, by Escobar to slam on the brakes. There's a strong throw right on the bag. It would have been a tough one. Good swing by Eduardo Escobar.
Both of these teams have already extended their streak of consecutive games with an extra base hit. They are tied for the major's longest active streak. Both the Diamondbacks and the Angels have had 59 consecutive games now with an extra base hit, both with home runs already today. Here's David Fletcher cracking one up the middle. Back-to-back 2-out hits. The Angels trying to rally against Zach Gallen.
That's vintage Fletch. Pitch upstairs, right back up the middle. 94-mile-an-hour fastball. Good swing for Fletch. Get that foot down in that barrel, and it lines it center field. And you can't throw a pitch high enough where Fletch is not going to make a good pass at it.
Here's Moniak. Chance with a man in scoring position. Moniak just 3 for his last 23 as he's come back down a little bit. Average still above 300 though, as Moniak got off to a roaring start since being recalled from AAA.
Still solid with runners in scoring position at 318. An assortment of off-speed pitches, a curveball followed by a changeup. He's about 45% of the time will throw a curveball 0-2 to a left-handed batter. He's trying to get that curveball before it breaks below the zone if he throws it.
Laid off the curve that time, and it's 1 ball 2 strikes on Moniak. Gallen's 5 outs so far today have all come on strikeouts. Now Carson Kelly wants to go to the mound to talk to Gallen. Gallen was not an all-star last year when he ended up finishing 5th in Cy Young voting. He probably deserved to be an all-star. He'll almost certainly be one this year. The 4th best ERA in the National League last season.
Makes me believe that conversation is with Kelly and Gallen. And you want to try to elevate a fastball, or you feel best with your curveball again? Struck him out with a curveball below the zone.
That just missed the outside corner. So Moniak battling. It's 2 balls 2 strikes. So Gallen, with runners in scoring position, tends to lock it down. He's been the hardest to hit since the beginning of last year in these spots. Moniak with a fly ball, hit pretty well. Back for Thomas, still going. He's at the wall, and it's gone! Mickey Moniak delivers a 3-run homer, and the Angels get to Gallen in the 2nd. They lead it 4-2.
Great at bat for Moniak. Finally got that curveball, got enough of the strike zone, got it at that arc of the curveball, and able to lift it out to center field. 3-run shots, 9th home run, 24th RBI. As Earl Weaver would say, it's the best play in baseball, the 3-run home run, and that was exactly what it was, all with 2 outs. Mickey's so fine.
Here's Mike Trout, who also has a home run today. Again, that ball really carrying. That one just kept going.
You can tell by the reaction by Thomas out in center. He was like, all right, I got a shot, and then all of a sudden it just kept going and going and going.
Thomas went into turbo mode after he saw that ball carrying the way that it did. Mickey Moniak hits it 406 feet. He has his 9th home run. Could be at the point now where pretty much any time a right-hander is on the mound that Moniak should be in the lineup.
Yes.
9 home runs on the season. He's driven in 24. Trout swinging 3-0. Missed that, and it's 3 balls and a strike. The 128th home run hit by the Angels this year. This team's been a powerhouse offensively. That's why it was so strange to see the last 2 games as the Angels couldn't connect against Tommy Henry and Ryan Nelson. Hardly big names in terms of starting pitchers. Only one team in the American League has out-homered the Angels. It's the Rays, and they only have hit 1 more home run than the Angels have. Gallen freezes Trout with a fastball.
He's not using his fielders at all, that's for sure.
No, 6 strikeouts and a couple of home runs. This one from Mickey Moniak, a 3-run shot. The Angels have the lead again.
Sunday, on the next episode of MLB's Carded, join Greg Amsinger for a look at all things cardboard, from vintage to modern. We've got it covered. MLB's Carded, Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
Batting averages are up this year. There's less downtime than ever before.
Goes into his windup, first pitch. And this ball's hit a long high drive. Got the wall. See ya. That ball's out of here. That is long gone. Out of here.
Live Black Afri audio from every major league club. Video of minor league games. Plus highlights and look-ins on MLB Big Inning. The all-new At Bat is only $3.99 per month. Subscribe within the MLB app today.
Mickey Moniak, 3-run home run, and it's the Angels now in front, 4-2.
Now you want that shutdown inning. It's been getting away a little bit from Reid Detmers on occasion. This is a big inning right here.
Ketel Marte holding his check swing there.
It's pretty close to a swing there, especially because you're trying to get out of the way of that pitch down and in.
Two balls, one strike on Marte.
In fact, it was more of a sweeper as compared to a slider. And as you turn your whole body, that gives the first base umpires, a right-handed batter, a good look at that bat going past the plate.
Marte lifts a fly ball to right. Should be easy for Moniak to angle his body to avoid the sun. He makes the catch at Marte, one away. That brings up Kyle Lewis, who flied to center his first time. That was Lewis's fly ball that really showed us how the ball was carrying here today.
It's a warm one, afternoon game. Good idea to try to get some ground balls if there's contact made. Everything is hit by the Angels against Gallen has been in the air.
Two balls and a strike on Lewis, followed by Gurriel here in the third.
Fastball just a little bit off the plate there for Reid Detmers today. That's that good depth in his slider. Remember earlier when he was throwing that slider around 92, 93. It was more like a cut fastball, so it was more contact made. Since he's going back to his slider where he's going to be 86 to 89, a lot more swing and misses.
Fastball there that is hit toward the right field line. Moniak chasing, so is Moustakas. It's Moniak leaping at the last moment to make the catch.
So you could see from our angle here that baseball looked like it was working towards the stands and then started making its way back almost in fair territory on that pop-up. So he got towards the wall and then realized that baseball was drifting back a little bit. Big out.
So 2 up, 2 down, and now it's Gurriel. Gurriel rips one toward the left field corner, and that's going to be extra bases. That ball bounced over the fence, will be an automatic double.
His pitch is the heart of the plate. 4-seam fastball, just like the home run Reid Detmers gave up earlier against Carson Kelly. Middle in, elevated.
That brings up Christian Walker. Both Arizona hits, extra base hits so far. There's a liner right to Rendon. That ends the inning.
The old Adam ball to finish off the inning. Great Adam.
Double, but Reid Detmers holds it down for the Angels.
MLB Tonight has all the bases covered, with live look-ins, highlights, and breakdowns.
MLB Tonight takes you live inside the park.
Every night on MLB Network.
Celebrate All-Star Week with MLB Network. Leading off, it's the HBCU Swingman Classic on Friday. Then take a first look at baseball's future stars during the first round of the MLB Draft. Get a preview of the big game across all your favorite MLB Network programs. And see the glitz and glamour of the MLB All-Star Red Carpet Show. Don't miss an All-Star Weekend moment. Starting Friday at 10:30 Eastern on MLB Network. You want highlights? Quick Pitch has you covered. Packing all today's biggest plays into one lightning-fast hour.
What a play!
We live today, preview tomorrow on Quick Pitch. Late nights and every morning, only on MLB Network.
The power of baseball goes beyond the field.
What an exciting time.
Together. Otani in day baseball, well, he's good. He's good during the day, he's good at night. He's good in April, May, June, July, August, September, and he probably would be good in October if the Angels get him into postseason baseball this year.
Those numbers in day games are incredible for Shohei. Even has pitched very well in day games. He takes care of himself. He says his favorite thing to do is sleep, so he's getting that proper sleep on it from a night game into a day game, and it's worked really well for Shohei.
Now, Phil Nevin marvels at the preparation too for Shohei, so whether it's a day game or a night game, maybe he's ahead of the curve because he's so prepared. He really game plans a lot, gives himself that extra time that maybe other players don't give themselves when it's a quick turnaround from a night game to a day game the next day.
Shohei's ready. Remember, Gallen got him out with a curveball. First at bat.
After ransacking opposing pitching in the month of June, so far Shohei is hitless in July. The next day or two, he will be named the American League Player of the Month for June. He'll add another accomplishment to his ledger. These infielders and outfielders for the Diamondbacks might be getting bored.
It's either a hit or a home run or a strikeout. Not involved in an out yet.
All 6 outs for Gallen have been strikeouts, including Otani in the first. And there's another. That's the 7th strikeout for Gallen. And Shohei goes down looking to start the 3rd.
Back-to-back strikeouts looking. One against Trout, one against Otani. That's paint right on the outside corner. What a perfect pitch that was, an unhittable pitch. And Shohei, as a pitcher, knows when you paint that outside corner like that, you're pretty much going to get that out every time. You're at the mercy of the home plate umpire. Rendon picked up a walk his last time, 23rd of the season, now ahead of the count here 2-0. Remember, yesterday he was ahead of the count 2-0 and hit a home run.
Three balls, no strikes on Rendon, who walked his first time. There's a strike and it's 3-1. Rendon thought that might have been ball 4. So the first out recorded by a Diamondback fielder. If Fletcher can find it through the sun, he does. And there's the second out here in the third. Gallen's 7 strikeouts, matching the most he's had in a start since the end of April. His career high in strikeouts is 13. That was at Dodger Stadium last year.
I'm impressed how well he hits the corners, the edges, changes speeds very well. Just a couple mistakes. Down this game 4-2.
Gallen, a guy who's been traded twice. He was drafted by the Cardinals. They traded him to the Marlins, and then Miami dealt him to Arizona for Jazz Chisholm.
Speaking of the Cardinals, they beat the Yankees today.
The Yankees losing that series to the Cardinals.
Toronto lost today against Boston. So some good news. The Angels got to be able to find a way to get this win.
And the Blue Jays haven't beaten the Red Sox yet this year. They've been swept twice by them.
Feel for all 4 of his pitches. He's able to throw his knuckle curve in the strike zone after being behind 2-1.
Moustakas strikes out swinging. That is the 8th strikeout already in 3 innings for Zach Gallen, but the Angels have touched him up and they have a 4-2 lead.
You want highlights? Quick Pitch has you covered.
Things are heating up.
Packing all today's biggest plays into one lightning fast hour.
Oh my goodness! What a play!
Every game. Every night.
Swing and a miss!
Every highlight that makes the headlines.
Are you kidding me?
We live today, preview tomorrow.
The quickest way to catch up on all the action? We've got you covered.
On Quick Pitch. Late nights and early mornings, only on MLB Network.
It's like got it, stays fair.
Everybody feel it, come around with the rhythm, it's a sound. Everybody get down when we bring it to you. It's like
with 4 strikeouts, a couple on a slider. That's an 87-mile-an-hour slider for Reid Detmers. Then he backdoors that one at 88 miles per hour. So the slider, not throwing it as hard, not overthrowing it. It's been solid today and has been for now, and it was 5th straight start where better depth with it.
Evan Longoria looks at a strike on the curve from Detmers. It's always like when a batter takes a pitch and then swings.
It swings. Well, you always go, well, why can't you do that more often?
There's a wave and a miss by Longoria, and it's 0-2.
So back-to-back breaking balls. One a curveball, one a sweeper.
Swing and a miss. Reid Detmers with short work of Longoria. It's another strikeout. Oh, between the two pitchers, we've certainly seen the strikeouts. That's 5 now for Detmers.
Let's take a look at our play sense presented by Frontier. We've talked a lot about his slider and that depth on it now as compared to earlier in the season. 91-mile-an-hour fastball is kind of flatter, more of that barrel of the bat type of slider, and then the adjustment made. 86-mile-an-hour slider going down and in, a lot more swing and misses with that. It's a perfect illustration. Sometimes, even though you get caught up in throwing pitches harder, not quite the depth on his slider when he throws it harder.
Carson Kelly has a 2-run homer in this game, and it's the only scoring for Arizona so far. Gave the Diamondbacks a 2-1 lead. The Angels grabbed it back with Moniak's 3-run homer. As Kelly gets out in front of a curveball.
Yeah, nice adjustment. The curveball before Little off the plate came right back with a 74-mile-an-hour curveball.
I'd say even with that home run, Detmers has kept his poise and command. He has come right back at these Arizona hitters.
And he's got the stuff. He's got 4 pitches, although he doesn't throw his changeup as much. But with the sweeper, slider, and curveball combo as far as breaking balls and 4-seamer, solid.
That's in there, strike 3 called. So Detmers again gets a strikeout. That's number 6 for him. And going toe-to-toe with the other team's ace and possibly out-pitching that ace as well.
That curveball there again. He's throwing a couple good curveballs in that sequence against Kelly. He curbed his enthusiasm with his breaking ball.
Oh. Well done.
I couldn't resist.
Here's Dominic Fletcher. This is hit well to left center field, but it's hanging up. Mike Trout is there, and Reid Detmers posts a 1-2-3 inning.
It's like got him, it stays fair. Everybody feel it, come around with the rhythm, it's a sound. Everybody get down when we give it to you. It's like that.
Celebrate All-Star Week with MLB Network. Leading off, it's the HBCU Swingman Classic on Friday. Then take a first look at baseball's future stars during the first round of the MLB Draft. Get a preview of the big game across all your favorite MLB Network programs. And see the glitz and glamour of the MLB All-Star Red Carpet Show. Don't miss an All-Star Weekend moment. Starting Friday at 10:30 Eastern on MLB Network. Sunday, on the next episode of MLB's Carded, join Greg Amsinger for a look at all things cardboard. From vintage to modern, we've got it covered. MLB's Carded, Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
14th at 6:30. The first 25,000 fans will receive an Angels MVP hat celebrating the 4 halos to earn that honor, courtesy of Heat Gets Us. For more info, visit angels.com/promotions.
Rock Chalk. J-Hub. Pat there.
He's trying to cover that long mane that he has. Cracking under there. Taylor Ward fouls one off. If I ever got a wig, I would just get one like that.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Make it seem like it's mine.
Way to go, Wayne.
That's a good idea, right?
Yeah, it's fantastic.
There's a foul ball.
I think Taylor Ward was going to say, yeah, I think it was.
Let's get one like that. Maybe I'll get one with the hat that has the hair coming out from under it. Then you really be confused.
Well, comedian Gallagher, rest in peace, had that working.
Backhand by Longoria. Well, Watermelons are able to at least survive in a post-Gallagher world.
It's a beautiful day for that, too.
Beautiful day to eat some watermelon.
Yes.
One out as Matt Thaiss gets a chance to bat against Zach Gallen. Fly ball to the left field line as Lourdes Gurriel ranges over and makes the catch.
And you're going to be aggressive, I think. You know, yesterday the Angels made 6 outs on the first pitch. But when you look at the numbers for Gallen coming into the game, a .467 batting average on the first pitch with 3 home runs, slugging at .822 on the first pitch. You're going to be aggressive.
You look around baseball, pitchers often have bloated numbers like that on the first pitch of an at-bat. It happens to most of the pitchers where their numbers will be way different, way larger on the first pitch. So that's why the Angels are more aggressive. They like to go after those first pitches. I feel like there's a lot of damage to be done, and just because they didn't get many hits yesterday on the first pitch, or they had a lot of outs on the first pitch, doesn't mean they're going to change their approach today.
Yeah, we mentioned, you know, Atlanta, how they score so often in the first inning. They're a very aggressive club on the first pitch. So when you had success doing that, you don't go away from successful formulas.
Escobar waves through a changeup, and it's 1 ball 2 strikes. Gallen's retired 6 in a row since the homer by Moniak gave the Angels the lead. Angels trying to get one before they go to San Diego. Two balls, 2 strikes on Escobar. These numbers continuing for Gallen, where he has struggled on the road. He has certainly found a home at Chase Field.
And you wouldn't think that's a great pitcher's yard, but he's been very good there.
Another strikeout for Gallen. He's fanned 9. This one ends a 1-2-3, bottom of the 4th.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
Grand Canyon University, an affordable private Christian university ranked top 20 campus in the country, offers over 310 dynamic academic programs informed by industry and student learning outcomes. In addition to federal grants and aid, traditional campus students received nearly $180 million in scholarships in 2022, with many attending for less than the cost of a state university and less debt after graduation. Looking at scholarship offers? See how GCU compares at gcu.edu/myoffer.
At Warby Parker, we believe in vision for all. Not just in the sense that we offer lots of frame styles and sizes, because we do. Or that we have glasses, sunglasses, contacts, and eye exams. There's also that. But because we believe everyone has the right to see. So for every pair sold, a pair of glasses is distributed to someone in need. Try 5 pairs for free, or visit a nearby store.
First 4 innings, one of them a 2-run homer. Otherwise, Detmers has had pretty good stuff once again today. Struck out 6. Faced Nick Ahmed to begin the 5th inning. Relatively economical pitch count for Detmers. 59 pitches in 4 innings.
Loves that first pitch curveball. Pretty successful with it during this very good stretch. Getting ahead of the count with his curveball.
Max Scherzer always said if you can land that first pitch curveball about 70% of the time, you're in great shape.
Then it sets up all your pitches going forward. They can't just sit on a fastball first pitch. And you're going to see difference as far as batting average, slugging percentage against the first pitch if you're able to land a curveball in the first one in.
Detmers falls behind Nick Ahmed. 3 balls, 1 strike. Ahmed struck out his first time. Detmers has walked a couple with 6 strikeouts. Oh, 3-1 curveball lands for a strike. Got the one back that he missed earlier. Swing and a miss. Detmers roars back from being down 3-1 and strikes out Ahmed his 7th.
Another strikeout on his 4-seam fastball. The slow curveball, the pitch before, and then a 4-seam fastball at 95 upstairs. Especially, you got to respect that because you're able to throw a curveball in the strike zone and late on a fastball.
It's a good breaking ball again. This time a strike to Fletcher, or rather to Thomas. These Diamondback outfielders all look the same. Thomas, Fletcher. We haven't seen Corbin Carroll, but he basically looks like these other guys.
Yeah, and they all cover a lot of ground and they could fly.
No balls and 2 strikes. Jake McCarthy as well, who was not in the lineup today for Arizona.
We saw how fast he was on that triple yesterday. He was at third base before you could blink your eye.
That one just missed. Alec Thomas's dad, Alan Thomas, was a longtime strength and conditioning coach for the White Sox. So Alec Thomas has certainly grown up around the game. He was around the team when they won their championship in 2005 when he was just a kid. Slaps that one into right field, a base hit. So Detmers makes a mistake on 1 and 2 and allows a base hit to Alec Thomas.
Yeah, that fastball, he didn't quite get it away. He was on that inner part of the play. He was able to get his hands up and through the baseball there, especially have some odd swings on his breaking ball.
Especially with the lefty-lefty matchup. There's so much space on the outer part of the plate. And Detmers facing Thomas. That pitch was up and in.
You see a chance to make contact on that part of the play. Up and away would have been more difficult.
So Thomas is on with 1 out. Brings the top of the order to the plate. Here's Ketel Marte. Now really a one-time for quite a bit of time at the beginning of this year. There was a big concern for Detmers the 3rd time through the order. The way he's gone lately, it seems he's really eradicated that completely.
Yep. And he was really good with that last year too. So you just feel the confidence is growing.
So what has long been a talking point for Detmers throughout this season really isn't as much anymore. Well, for what it's worth, it is the 3rd time through the order now as Marte stands in. All-star rosters are set to be revealed in the next half hour or so. Some players and some players' parents breaking the news that they have made the All-Star team already. Marcus Stroman says he's going to the All-Star game. Nick Castellanos' dad says that Castellanos is going.
Castellanos has really turned it around. He struggled last year with the Phillies, showing some power this year. Marcus Stroman has been great on the mound for Chicago. That power sinker, he's a ground ball machine.
2 balls and a strike on Ketel Marte. This one is popped foul back right in front of the press box area here. 2-2 on Marte.
Marte has rolled into 10 double plays. Detmers is not a real big ground ball guy. He's 1 ground ball out today. And a little over 36%. He's 36% in his career also.
Thomas with decent speed at first. Marte reaches down to stay alive. Marte is a better hitter from the right side than the left, and he's pretty good from both sides.
Dave McKay over at first base is one of the best first base coaches in the game, so he's going to give Thomas an idea as far as what to look for. Reid Detmers has allowed 9 stolen bases in 10 attempts.
Thomas is running, got a good jump, but Marte with a pop-up. Thomas slipped a bit as he tried to get back to first. Won't matter as that ball lands on top of the dugout. It's 2-2 on Ketel Marte, who was with the Diamondbacks when they went to the postseason in 2017. He had a triple from each side of the plate against the Rockies in the wild card game that year. Only player ever to do that in a playoff game. He was the first player with 2 triples in a postseason game since Mariano Duncan in the 1993 National League Championship Series.
Ooh, that's one of those tough ones. He ran that slider in and foul right off the leg. Marte.
Mariano Duncan, a 93 Philly.
Yes. Ooh. Wow. Slightly above that shin guard, right on the shin itself. And as a hitter, you know when you see a swing like that, a pitcher's coming right back in more than likely. So that's the second one, so you can almost guarantee Thomas is on the move. You have a shot still when they strike him out, throw him out.
Thomas was running earlier in the at-bat. He's running again, and Marte with a good cut at that fastball fouled it off. So Detmers' pitch count getting run up here. Suddenly he's thrown 18 pitches in this inning already, and pitch count approaching 80 on a warm day at the Big A. Swing and a miss. Finally, Detmers wins the battle.
It's a good 74-mile-an-hour curveball. Had him off balance enough on that one. He was on that last pitch, fouled it straight back on a fastball, and then dropped 74. It's curveball.
So 2 down, and the batter Kyle Lewis. He's flied out a couple of times. Last time Demoniac. Made that sort of leaping catch as he nearly overran it. Detmers now with that strikeout has fanned 8 today. Gallen has struck out 9.
And 4 with his fastball, 2 with his curve, and 2 with his slider today.
So much life on that fastball for Detmers. A lot of attention to Alek Thomas at first. Thomas, just like the other Arizona outfielders, at least in the minor leagues, really can fill up a stat line. A lot of doubles, triples, homers, steals. A skill set for all those guys.
One of those base stealers too, where you see him taking his lead. He's a little bit further away from the base and back to give you that depth. As a pitcher that maybe he's further away than the bag, that's why you see some throws. See that quite a bit of late. So he's not straight off on that back part of the base. He's a little bit deeper away from the base.
Diamondbacks give a lot of credit to Dave McKay, the first base coach, for some of their base running prowess this year.
Now, he's been outstanding for a long, long time.
Got some veteran coaches on the staff that have really helped Arizona. Brent Strom has been around a long time, the pitching coach. Jeff Bannister is the bench coach, former big league manager. So Torey Lovullo has really surrounded himself with people that he trusts to get the most out of these players. 3-2, the runner will go. Breaking ball is lifted to left field. Taylor Ward sizes it up. And Reid Detmers puts up another 0.
I'm always up for whatever the night brings.
When it's time for date night, he's always ready.
With Rex MD, I can get generic Viagra online, discreetly. Stay in the moment with Rex MD.
If sports fans built a streaming service.
What's going on?
I think we found a way to stop fans from destroying their TVs when their teams lose.
How's it work?
Hey, Charlie. Philly lost.
I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to put you on hold for just 1 second. Okay.
Yeah, we need a little bit of water splashing around this one.
Bob Ross channel. It's freaking genius.
It's even a little over here.
Live TV and sports and more, but mostly sports. That's Fubo!
Says the Fletcher brothers have had a chance to play on the same major league field for the first time, and with their mom in attendance, Carlin Baith is here to speak to the Fletcher's mother.
Thank you so much, Wayne. I'm hanging out right now with Fernanda Fletcher. First of all, we've got to talk about this custom jersey. Can you walk us through this and how you got this put together?
Absolutely. So when I heard from Dominic at 11:30 at night that he was coming up and he was going to play against David, I called one of my best friends, Gina Petro, and told her, help me, I need a jersey. She's like, okay, call Cody, her son. And I did, and he put it together within 1 hour. So thank you so much, Cody Petro, for putting together this amazing jersey. You guys have already seen the back, I think on Friday, and they did an amazing job, just so I can support them both.
We got to see the back one more time. So if you didn't catch that, it says Fletcher Mom right across the back. And while we've been standing here, people literally know exactly what that means with the two Fletcher brothers out there. They've been coming up, saying hello, introducing themselves. So that's been a lot of fun to watch. Now, David just had an at-bat, unfortunately did not make base here, but just as a mother, watching these two out there on the field play against each other. Are you stressed? Are you calm? Is this what you expected? How are you feeling, Fernanda?
Oh my gosh, lots of different emotions at the same time, because first of all, Dad died a few weeks ago, so we wish he's here with us, and he's not. But I already told his other son, Ted, that he probably made this happen in heaven. So that's probably why they're here together. So I'm happy thinking that, and it's bittersweet, but it's so cool to cheer for both of them at the same time. Like yesterday's play was bittersweet. I'm like, yes, no, yes, no. Okay, double play, let's go. Just get even, but you know, the game.
Our condolences too for their father and your family, and just having all of your friends and family here during a time like this, a few short weeks after. Just how special is that before we let you go?
It's been amazing. Everyone has been coming together. the dad's brother, Ted, has come over with his whole family, and after his passing, and then since then, everyone has come together, all his high school friends, coaches, his favorite coach, Stanley Grayback, who's the reason why they're here, is amazing, and he's been a mentor to them forever, and he's remained that, if not stronger. He's actually going to San Diego, he told me, for the next 2 days, just to be with the boys.
That's incredible, Fernanda.
Physically.
Thank you for sharing that with us. I hope you enjoy the rest of today's game.
So much, Carly. You're amazing.
Thank you. Wayne, back upstairs to you guys.
All right, Carlin, thank you very much. Fernanda Fletcher has been through a lot over the last couple of weeks, but certainly a great moment for the family here this weekend.
Yeah, I mean, that was special. That was really, really great to hear that. I mean, they consider the support the family has, and to have both sons here today playing. It's perfect.
Fernanda mentioning Stanley Grayback, who has been a coach of the Fletcher brothers since they were really young. Stanley Grayback's brother, Craig Grayback, was a big league player, most notably for the White Sox.
And with the Angels at one point also.
Ken Harrelson used to call him Little Hurt. Frank Thomas was the Big Hurt, and Craig Grayback was Little Hurt.
Yes, he was. Remember him talking about this time where he had a home run against Nolan Ryan. Nolan Ryan wasn't real happy about that one, though.
I don't think he liked any of them.
No.
Mike Trout's got a homer today. It came against Gallen in the first inning. The Moniak's 3-run shot, the real big blow today. Trout has also struck out today. Shohei Otani has struck out twice. Yesterday, both struck out 2 times each against Ryan Nelson. Something that's only happened a dozen times. And it's happened again today. Back-to-back days where a pitcher has struck out both Trout and Otani twice.
Watch games and coverage all day, every day, your way on MLB Network.
MLB Tonight has all the bases covered, with live look-ins, highlights, and breakdowns.
MLB Tonight takes you live inside the park.
Every night on MLB Network.
Enrique Quique Hernández.
Hey, what's up, bro?
Hey, papá.
Dímelo, hermano. Mira, te prometí que íbamos a cocinar. Como tú eres de Boston, yo soy de la de Nueva York, vamos a hacer una competencia.
Yo soy bastante competitivo. No hay nada como la comida latina.
Nada.
Don't take presentation to evaluation, okay? Just flavor. Una cosa que es bien importante para mí es siempre disfrutar ese juego.
Salud, mi hermano. A la vida más fina.
$20 or more and get tickets for as low as $8 per seat. Call 888-796-HALO or visit angels.com/groups for more details.
It's a big inning now for Reid, Detmers, and the Angels here, especially through this part of the lineup for the D-backs.
Lourdes Gurriel Jr. leading off.
Trying to maintain a 2-run lead.
Major League Baseball All-Star Game roster reveal is about to start. Let you know if any other Angels are going besides Shohei and Mike Trout. Certainly the most deserving aside from those two has been Carlos Estevez. Detmers had pitched like this from the beginning of the season. He'd be going.
Yeah.
He's been unbelievable here lately.
And his feel for his curveball, to throw it, to get back into counts has been outstanding.
So there's a roster reveal show, so we won't know the full rosters until a half hour from now. Everything's got to be a TV event.
That's what it should be, because we're part of that.
Yes.
Yeah. Estevez has been so good this season.
He certainly has. Gurriel with a fly ball right center field. Trout's after it, so is Moniak. Trout calls him off, runs over and makes the catch.
Real good communication there between Trout and Moniak. Look off the bat, maybe that's going to be a play by Mickey Moniak, but Trout right away is calling. He's able to run that one down, big first out. First time they retired Gurriel in this game. He walked and a double.
Here's Christian Walker. He's 0 for 2. Lined out to Rendon his last time. And ended the third inning after a 2-out double from Gurriel. Diamondbacks have only managed 3 hits against Detmers. He's racked up 8 strikeouts. He's allowed just the 2 runs on the Carson Kelly homer. Gets that one over to Walker, who has had a hitless series, a combined 0 for 11 between the 3 days for Walker. Diamondbacks go home from here. They'll host the Mets on the 4th of July, Tuesday afternoon. The Angels play tomorrow night against the Padres. The Padres in Cincinnati, so they'll be taking a fairly long flight back. Reds beat the Padres today. San Diego got 1 yesterday, and that was it.
Cincinnati is now 6 games over 500. What a story they are.
They're playing good. They don't have much pitching, but they're still winning. The Brewers and the Reds entering today, tied for first. In the National League Central, Milwaukee beat Pittsburgh, so both teams still tied after the first weekend of July.
And Pittsburgh's been playing a little bit better themselves, and they're coming into the Big A after the All-Star break.
We'll see the Pirates on that first homestand, a long homestand for the Angels right after the break. There's the National League Central with the Brewers and Reds on top. Swing and a miss. Good slider, the 9th strikeout for Detmers.
That's great depth. He showed it a lot today. Good that pitch has been for Reid Detmers. Really goes back to his feel for that, not muscling up and overthrowing that arm angle he's throwing it at. Way out in front.
This is his 5th straight start with at least 8 strikeouts. And that streak also included giving up 1 or no runs. So he's only allowed 2 today, which ends that streak, but still pretty impressive. A 5-start span now for Detmers, where he has really been very good. Here's Longoria. Inside out swing, a liner to right. Reid Detmers is through 6. He's allowed just 3 hits. He has 9 strikeouts. The Angels will try to pad the lead as Shohei Otani leads off in the bottom of the 6th.
Sunday on the next episode of MLB's Carded. Join Greg Amsinger for a look at all things cardboard, from vintage to modern. We've got it covered. MLB's Carded, Sunday at 7:30 a.m. Eastern on MLB Network.
Baseball's biggest moments are live on MLB Big Inning. MLB.TV's nightly show takes you from game to game for all the grand slams, no-hitters, walk-offs, and more as they happen.
Wow, he can do it all!
Don't miss the ultimate baseball highlight reel.
This is some kind of awesome.
After your game ends, the action's just heating up on MLB Big Inning. Every night on MLB.TV.
Running the plate, presented by Burger King. Shohei Otani's been the king at the plate this year. 30 home runs, leads all of baseball. Matt Olson with 28, leading the National League. Luis Robert will very likely be named an All-Star here in the next few minutes. Second in the American League, but 6 behind Shohei, who had a sniff at the Triple Crown the way that he's been going.
Look at his career numbers too in the month of July compared to what, in the month of June was just absolutely incredible. And his career numbers in the month of June, 336, slugging at 771 in his career in June. But July, a little bit different. He's slugging at 494 with a 239 batting average, although 22 home runs in the month of July for Shohei.
It's a fly ball to left field. This one, though, is shallow and handled by Gurriel. Entering today, Shohei 4th in the American League in hitting at 306. 13 points off the lead, hardly insurmountable with so much season left. So
it's amazing. Everything he hits is the roar of the crowd expecting something unreal for Shohei, which has been the case all season long and over the last 3 years.
Should have good crowds too, as we've had all weekend here at Angel Stadium down at Petco Park.
Yeah, they've been selling out even though they're struggling.
Well, it's because they thought they weren't. It was all the season ticket sales and everybody hyped about the Padres 2023 season after their run to the championship series last year. And it's just been miserable for the Padres this season, but everybody already bought their tickets pretty much, so I would expect that we'll see good crowds there. And Petco Park, when the Angels are there tomorrow, Tuesday and Wednesday, I'm sure a lot of Angels fans will make the trip as well. Got to buy some cheap tickets because some of those Padre fans are going to get rid of them.
Tell you what, though, there's a couple teams even last year when you think about it. Nobody thought the Phillies would make a run to the World Series. They were struggling when they made a change at the managerial spot. They turned around. The Padres, you just feel there's a lot of talent there.
Anthony Rendon with a pop up to the right side. And Christian Walker makes
what a play. It looked like he was looking around for some help, and maybe someone would help him as far as whether it's in right field for Fletcher coming in or Marte, but is able to make the play on that one.
He was the Gold Glove winner at first base in the National League last year.
It's a tough play, too. You got to go a long way. You're trying to track the baseball. You're looking around like, all right, where am I going? I made an easy play out of it.
2 down. Here's Moustakas. Starting pitchers dueling today as expected. Outside of the home runs flying out early in this game, both pitchers have had some excellent stuff today. Gallen has struck out 10. Detmers has fanned 9. Jose Soriano's up in the Angels bullpen, so it looks like Detmers' day could be over. At the 7th inning on approach. 1 ball, 2 strikes on Moustakas.
That's the case. Solid effort again today by Reid Detmers, knowing he's going to be locked up against a team that's playing exceptional baseball and the Diamondbacks, and facing a very good pitcher on the other side.
Moustakas off the end of his bat, floats one to shallow center field. Long run going out, and Nick Ahmed makes a great running catch as Thomas came sliding in. Ahmed with the running grab in shallow center field.
That could have been real dangerous sliding in, but a great play by Nick Ahmed, Gold Glover himself.
MLB Tonight, the ultimate late-night baseball party. See the night's biggest moments, the best interviews.
We all love DJ Dan.
And cutting-edge analysis from TV's best.
This one takes the cake.
That is awesome.
MLB Tonight, late nights on MLB Network.
It's a nice steady rhythm to the games now with the pitch timer. Can't look away.
And the pitch. And a ground ball toward the home base hit. They're going to wave him in. He is saved. A walk-off wild one. Oh, wow.
Celebrate All-Star Week with MLB Network. Leading off, it's the HBCU Swingman Classic on Friday. Then take a first look at baseball's future stars during the first round of the MLB Draft. Get a preview of the big game across all your favorite MLB Network programs. And see the glitz and glamour of the MLB All-Star Red Carpet Show. Don't miss an All-Star Weekend moment. Starting Friday at 10:30 Eastern on MLB Network.
Got something to say about the game? I want to hear that. Don't just talk about it.
Get caught up so we can talk about it on the show.
Intentional talk about it.
I think this is when opportunity arises.
Join the conversation with Intentional Talk on MLB Network.
We're watching.
Seattle-Tampa Bay game, and ultimately a scary play as Isaac Paredes tried to field a bouncing ball, ended up on the infield grass, and he was collided into by Ty France.
Yeah, I mean, the thing you mentioned, Wayne, on the infield grass is a base runner. You're trying to stay on that path on the dirt. He went on the inside part on the grass in a collision. That was a pretty solid collision there.
I think they actually called interference on Paredes there and not France.
I mean, how can that be possible? I mean, you're trying to field a slow ground ball your way, and you're on the infield grass, in that out of the running path.
Jose Soriano, the new pitcher for the Angels.
He's commanding the strike zone with that excellent stuff.
France ended up scoring later in the innings, though he wasn't called out for that. Carson Kelly leading off the 7th against Soriano. Slow bouncer, charging Fletcher, throws it in time to get Kelly.
Nice play by Fletch, because he knew he had a little bit of time on that one. He's under control, makes the play. That first out here. Able to get it on the transfer, still get a lot on the throw, and get that first out on the ground there.
That is only the 3rd ground ball out of this game from both teams. The Angels have had 2 ground ball outs, and Arizona's had 1.
Yeah, both pitchers came into this game, not a lot of ground balls, and they lived up to that. They got the punch outs and fly balls here today.
Reid Detmers was very strong. 6 innings, 2 runs allowed, 9 strikeouts, gave up just 3 hits. We saw Detmers earlier in the year really struggle with 2 strikes, gave up a lot of hits. When he had 2 strikes on a hitter, a lot of 0-2 hits. Well, he certainly cleaned that up today. The Diamondbacks 1 for 12 when they got to 2 strikes in the count.
That's finishing off hitters.
1 ball, 2 strikes on Dominic Fletcher. This is now a 5-start streak for Detmers with at least 8 strikeouts, 2 runs allowed or fewer. And he's in line for the win if the bullpen can hold it. Bouncing ball, and that's a base hit for Fletcher.
Got a pinch hitter right now. That's why Matt Weiss running out there to talk to Soriano and Matt Thaiss.
And Matt Wise on the mound, and while they do that, we'll hear from Hyundai.
It's your journey. Own every mile in the Hyundai Tucson with America's best warranty.
Diamondbacks go to their bench. Nick Ahmed due up. Geraldo Perdomo is the pinch hitter. Perdomo has been a better offensive option this year, hitting .285. Soriano starts him off with a curveball strike.
Always important to be able to throw a breaking ball first pitch, especially for a pinch hitter coming off the bench. You're usually thinking, hoping to get first pitch fastball and be ready to go. Drop the curveball instead.
A blooper. Rendon got a good jump after it, but won't be able to catch up to it. I don't know if you want Rendon sprawling into the camera well at this point anyway. It's important for this team to have him in the lineup.
So when you look over Brandon Drury on the IL too. Zach Neto moving quickly. Starting to do some baseball activities on the field. Saw him playing catch and doing agility work.
I think we'll see Neto and Drury right after the All-Star break. It'd be nice for the Angels to get Neto back before, but I think realistically with 5 days off, that'll be a good opportunity for Neto to finish his recovery and for Drury to get through his. Once we get past the All-Star break, we'll be into the middle of July, and I wonder if you'll start to hear more about Logan O'Hoppe too.
Yeah, he's really progressing in the right direction right now. Maybe the end of August, certainly September.
2 balls, 2 strikes on Perdomo. Soriano couldn't close that curveball, and it's 3-2.
And from 0-2 now to 3-2. Fletcher with good speed at first.
He loses Perdomo, ball 4. So a base hit by Fletcher, then a walk, and now the Diamondbacks have the tying runs on base with Alek Thomas due up.
Fletcher's getting a chance to talk out there on the field.
The first time I think that they've been out there at second base together. As the brothers meet at second. I think they've discussed that ball that Dominic hit off David's glove yesterday. Ground ball to first. Moustakas fires to second for 1. Throw to first. It is not in time. It was tough on those 3-6-1 double plays with a long throw from first to second. And the Angels get 1 out as Moustakas retires Perdomo at second base.
That was well played by everyone involved. Moustakas a perfect throw to Fletch. A good feed over to Soriano covering first base. The most difficult one is that 3-6-1. And Soriano did everything right. He got to the bag first before stretching out to make it. A lot of times as a pitcher covering the bag, you're already stretching, and all of a sudden you don't have the footwork, but he did a nice job there.
So now it's Ketel Marte at the top of the order. Down the line, foul over Moustakas.
Moustakas has been out there the last few days working on ground balls and throws at the first base position. Working hard.
One ball, 1 strike. All-star rosters are trickling out. Doesn't look like Marte made the National League All-Star team, which would be a big upset. Certainly deserves to. Swing and a miss. Good pitch by Soriano.
Real good depth and break to that curveball.
For some reason, Dansby Swanson made it over Ketel Marte. Marte's got considerably better numbers. Who knows? That's in there, strike 3 call. Big out for Soriano. Marte whips his bat toward the on-deck circle as Soriano gets a huge strikeout to end the inning. The Angels hold a 2-run lead into the bottom of the 7th.
MLB Tonight, the ultimate late-night baseball party.
Oh, man.
With live look-ins to the night's biggest moments.
How hot was that?
That's money.
What? The best interviews.
I've never asked a player, do you need a blanket? It is kind of cold out there.
And cutting-edge analysis from TV's best former players fresh off the field.
Get your hands up.
There's nothing quite like MLB Tonight.
This is going to be a big deal tonight.
This one takes the cake. That is awesome.
MLB Tonight, late nights on MLB Network.
It's like that. Got him and stays fair.
Everybody feel it, come around with the rhythm, it's a sound. Everybody get down when we give it to you. It's like that.
Keep up with every team on MLB Network wherever you go. Just download the MLB app, click MLB Network, and sign in with your
Valley Sports brought to you by Nissan. Explore great deals at the Nissan Thrill of the Drive sales event. Shop NissanUSA.com. By Spectrum One, Internet Advanced Wi-Fi and Mobile for just $49.99 a month. Visit Spectrum.com. And by Sage Technical Services, pitching decisions presented by Sage, official finance software partner of Major League Baseball. All-star rosters have been pretty much announced. The National League roster is out fully. The Diamondbacks' Zach Gallen did make the All-Star team. So did Lourdes Gurriel Jr. Somehow Ketel Marte was left off in favor of the Cubs' Dansby Swanson. Somebody will have to explain that one to me. And somebody will also have to explain to me how Carlos Estevez did not make the American League All-Star team.
Now that is just not right.
Taylor Ward leads off the bottom of the 7th against Zach Gallen. Now only 4 relievers were named All-Stars in the American League. Kenley Jansen, Felix Bautista of the Orioles, Yennier Cano of the Orioles, and Emmanuel Clase of the Guardians. One hopper off the bat of Ward, fielded by Marte. And that's the first out of the inning. You know, Cano had that incredible start to the year. He's maintained a 1.12 ERA. Certainly, Yennier Cano deserves to be an all-star. I think you could make the case similarly for Felix Bautista. You know, keep in mind, too, one player from each team has to go. So, not sure if any other Red Sox made it besides Kenley Jansen. There's a base hit for Matt Thaiss. But I believe Jose Ramirez made the All-Star team for Cleveland. And if that's the case, I don't know how you can justify Clase over Estevez. Clase's got 6 blown saves this year.
And Estevez has been perfect so far. And there'll be some changes in there before the All-Star game itself. So there's still a possibility that Carlos Estevez will be part of that Midsummer Classic.
Now, because there are more starters than relievers, you know, they tend to, when they think about replacements, they tend to go starter for starter, reliever for reliever. So likely one of those players would have to be a reliever to come out for Estevez to get a chance to go in. And yes, Jose Ramirez did make the All-Star team, so there's no reason really for Clase to be included over Estevez is 6 blown saves. How can that not count? Plus Estevez has a lower ERA. Plus Estevez has more strikeouts. He's given up fewer hits. I mean, what are we talking about here?
100% agree with you on that, Wayne. I think all baseball fans are pretty much agreeing with you, I think, too.
So Carlos Estevez, there's snubs every year. Unfortunately for him, a guy who could have been a first-time All-Star, who was hoping to go, who has certainly pitched as though he should be going, he is not at the present time selected to be an All-Star. Whit Merrifield made the team, though. I don't know what happened there.
I know there's a lot of Atlanta Braves that made the team in the National League, which deservedly so.
Yes, the Braves had 8 representatives, I believe, heading to the All-Star game. They're the best team in baseball. They have been pretty clearly the best team in the major leagues this year. And Merrifield's not the only Blue Jay. Certainly Vladimir Guerrero Jr. is going. Bo Bichette is going. So I don't know. Fernando Tatis also did not make it. In fact, instead of Tatis, Lourdes Gurriel makes the team over him.
Hey, Matt Thaiss on the move there on a 3-2 count. That's the trust Nevin has in Escobar. Not only know the strike zone, but also make contact if it is a strike.
From a bookkeeping standpoint, too, Shohei was also named an All-Star as a pitcher in addition to being as a hitter. So he's kind of a two-way All-Star in that regard. Escobar chases ball 4. He swings through strike 3, but Thaiss ends up with a stolen base as he gets to second.
Second of the season for Matt Thaiss. Kelly on the transfer, unable to make the throw to second base. Matt Thaiss is going, yeah, I stole that base standing up.
He's in scoring position. David Fletcher is at the plate.
Got a couple good swings against Gallen on the first pitch. Lined out the third. Line drive, base hit up the middle.
Angels would take another hit here. It could get them another run. Just looked up Whit Merrifield's numbers to see if I was missing something, and I wasn't. It's just like I thought it would. I don't know. But the All-Star rosters are set. Congratulations to all who did make it. All-Star game is a week from Tuesday in Seattle.
Means when you look back, Kirk Gibson never made an All-Star game. Tim Salmon never made an All-Star game. Both had outstanding careers.
All-Star rosters have expanded, and it's kind of changed how they've been voted on. It used to be just whatever pennant-winning manager got to manage the All-Star team the next year would choose the entire roster himself.
By the way, this might not be easy for Matt Thaiss to score on a base hit here by David Fletcher. Their outfield a little more shallow, so that secondary lead will be big for Thaiss.
Fletcher held his swing. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Gallen has 11 strikeouts today, 1 shy of a season high and 2 shy of his career high.
Next pitch will be number 100 of the afternoon for Gallen. Gave up all 4 runs in the first couple of innings to settle down. Been very good since.
Fletcher swings and misses as Gallen ends up with a dozen strikeouts. That ties his season high, but he's on the losing end of a 4-2 game.
If you love baseball, you need to watch Baseball's Show of Record, MLB Tonight.
We've got a bunch of games kicking off.
Who gets you ready to start the evening? these guys.
With Harold Reynolds, I'm Adnan Burke. Good to have you with us.
Join Harold and Adnan for a first look at the night's matchups.
Shohei Otani. We're going to talk about this guy forever.
First take from the players.
Oh, thanks for joining us, man.
Thanks for having me.
And the first of many breakdowns.
Let's put this in perspective.
Then, as your game night continues, stay tuned for the ultimate late-night baseball party. With live look-ins to the night's biggest moments.
MLB Tonight takes you live inside the park.
The best interviews.
I've never asked a player, do you need a blanket? It is kind of cold out there.
And cutting-edge analysis from TV's best former players fresh off the field.
Get your hands up.
There's nothing quite like MLB Tonight.
That is awesome.
This one takes the cake.
This is going to be a big deal tonight.
Exactly. You can't top that.
MLB Tonight. Every night on MLB Network.
Angels Baseball and Valley Sports brought to you with the help of the SoCal Honda dealers. Follow at Helpful Honda. They can help you too. And by Jack in the Box, introducing Snoop's Munchie Meal. Available for a limited time only at Jack in the Box.
By the way, I did stop by there last night.
Oh, you did? I was going to say on the way to San Diego might be the way to go.
Oh, I made it there last night.
Get some of Snoop's Munchie Meal. There's Jacob Webb with the top of the 8th inning in his hands to try to keep the Angels in front. So former Angel Michael Lorenzen was the Tigers' lone representative.
Yeah, he was well liked by his teammates when he had an opportunity to play at home. So congrats to Michael Lorenzen representing the Tigers. It's Summer Classic.
Going to be some all-star alternatives for sure. But here's Kyle Lewis. As Webb starts him off with a strike. Angels have put Andrew Velasquez in the game to play shortstop. David Fletcher moves over to second base, which takes Escobar out of the game. Velasquez rejoining the roster today when Drury went on the IL.
First batter here, always important to be able to get out when you come out of the bullpen here.
Good pitch by Webb to get a strike on Lewis. It's 2-2. We have not seen Corbin Carroll at all, and if the Diamondbacks have him available on the bench, maybe we'll see him down the stretch in this game. There's ball 3 from Webb, making it a full count on Lewis. There's Carroll, who has been on the bench throughout this series. Lewis, the designated hitter, leading off here. Maybe we'd see Carroll. But it's Lewis, and he strikes out against Jacob Webb. One away.
Job by Webb going with his four-seam fastball to get a strikeout. Lewis has been pretty patient at the plate. A couple walks yesterday. After a 3-2 count, unable to catch up to a fastball, though.
Lourdes Gurriel Jr., a National League All-Star, as he swings at the first pitch and flies out to Taylor Ward. 2 quick outs for Webb, and a quick word here from our man Snoop.
Yo, Jack, that a baked brownie in my munchie meal?
You know it, Snoop.
Say less.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, very, very good.
Here's Walker. 0 for 3 today, 0 for 12 in the series. Jacob Webb here lately has emerged as an 8th inning option for Phil Nevin.
His fastball velocity has been 95, 96. He's got that great changeup. He overthrew that changeup there, but his breakable also very good.
Talk a lot about the volatility of relievers and how you never know from one year to the next. Well, here's Webb pitching the 8th inning, and in a game the Angels are trying to win. A guy who was a spring training invite. Been a very impactful big league pitcher last year. Had some injuries. As long as someone catches this, he's about to work the 1-2-3 inning. David Fletcher calls for it. He has it. And Jacob Webb goes right through the middle of the Diamondbacks order with a perfect 8.
ED is difficult for me and for my partner. Through HIMS, I can message a licensed provider about clinically proven ED treatments. Like the generic form of Viagra, which can cost 90% less than the brand name version. Then HIMS ships discreetly to my door for free. I never knew it could be this easy to get my confidence back. Now we can both count on a great experience every time. Start your free visit today at forhims.com.
Sure, you'll teach her how to drive a car. Then use Greenlight to power her independence with crash detection with 911 dispatch, family location sharing, and emergency SOS alerts. Invest in your best investment with Greenlight.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
Reserves announced. No Angels on that list. 3 Blue Jays, though, including Vlad Jr., who will participate in the Home Run Derby. Luis Robert, he would have been an all-star no matter what, but he's the only White Sox representative.
Salvador Perez, same with Kansas City, who beat the Dodgers again today. They won the series against the Dodgers, winning 2 of 3. That's baseball. You just never know.
There you go. Kyle Nelson, the new pitcher for Arizona, replaces Gallen, who had 12 strikeouts in 7 innings, but he's on the losing end here today. Hunter Renfroe pinch hits for Mickey Moniak, who delivered the big blow back in the bottom of the 2nd. 3-run homer. It's been 4-2 Angels ever since. Neither team has scored since that Moniak home run.
Been clutch. Moniak again. Big moment. 3-run home run. Here you go, Wayne. Ooh.
Well,
come on, Rusty, make the play over there.
Certainly it'll be a fun time for Moniak to head to San Diego, his home area. As Renfroe, it's a ground ball to Perdomo. Bit of a high throw, but Walker has the bag. Mike Trout homered in the 1st inning today. Our Arco top-tier play.
Pitch down. Trout all over, pitches in that lower 3rd. That goes 436. 93rd time Trout has homered in the 1st inning. 18th of the season. These are the all-time numbers as far as since 1974. 93 passing Miguel Cabrera on the active list.
The ball's 2 strikes on Trout.
Albert Pujols at the top of that category. You hit 700+ home runs, you're going to be atop a lot of home run categories.
Yeah, I would think so. Trout walking this one off. Let's see what numbers Trout gets to. Yeah, Albert played at a pretty high level, at least into his mid to late 30s, and then had that one last resurgent year in 2022 to put him over 700.
Still has that guard there, but that got him pretty square. Basically a fastball cutter slider pitcher. Fastball 90-94 cutter. Trout might see another cutter or slider here in.
Trout tips that one into the glove of Carson Kelly, and there's a strikeout for Kyle Nelson. So since the homer, Trout struck out 3 times.
Going back to our Hyundai key for the game today. Some like it hot. The Angels with 2 home runs, a difference in this game. Shohei would love to see one out over the plate. Enjoying that home run barrage today.
Shohei being named an all-star as a pitcher today, in addition to him being voted in as the designated hitter for the American League All-Star team. If he showed up to Seattle and didn't get voted in as a pitcher, and he said, I want to pitch, would they just say no? You weren't elected as a pitcher?
He pretty much could say, I want to do anything.
Right. Ultimately, that's sort of a ceremonial all-star nod for Shohei. Ball, 2 strikes. Angels will be in San Diego tomorrow. Jaime Barria will start that game. Shohei will pitch Tuesday on the 4th of July. And there's a long fly ball. That one might be longer than the other. Number 31 for Shohei Otani.
115 miles per hour exit velocity, 454. That was almost Barry Bonds-like territory in the 02 World Series. What a shot for Shohei. Some like it hot, and that baseball was crushed. 3 home runs for the Angels. Big add-on run, Shohei.
Just unbelievably majestic home runs that Shohei has been hitting. That is his 31st to lead the majors. And he's halfway to 62 if you're counting. Trying to chase what Judge did last year. .454 feet into that tunnel in the right field bleachers. It's very similar to where Barry Bonds hit one in the World Series in 2002. Rendon flies out, but the Angels tack on a run, and it's Shohei Otani with another spectacular drive. A 454-foot home run, and it's a 5-2 Angels lead.
Welcome to the Aura Sleep Lab. You need a bit more deep sleep. Getting enough high-quality sleep increases immunity. Why? Because sleep helps fend off sickness. A good night's sleep boosts your number of infection-fighting antibodies and cells. And with your Aura Ring, you can learn how to sleep deep and keep your immunity up. It's like having a sleep lab on your finger. Go to sleep with auraring.com.
Prescription eyewear can be really expensive, but here's a secret. Glasses don't actually cost that much to make. Surprise! Especially when you design your own eyewear and then sell it directly to your customers, like we do. Oh, hi, we're Warby Parker. Our glasses start at $95, including prescription lenses. And the best part? You could try 5 pairs for free at warbyparker.com.
We love going to games, but good seats get pricey. So we use Game Time. Game Time checks ticket prices in real time and finds you all the best last-minute deals. We got our seats 20 minutes ago for 60% off. Last-minute tickets at the best price in seconds. Download Game Time now.
Shohei Otani, this saddleness break a ball inside part of the plate, a majestic blast for Shohei Otani. A no doubt Barry Bonds-like home run to that exit well on the way to the concession stand. Baseball was hungry. Hits that one out 454 feet for Shohei Otani, our Toyota player of the game. Shohei Otani, 31st home run. 15th home run in his last 22 games. I think that's pretty hot.
It has been roaring since really the end of May. It's leaked over into July. Phil Nevin saying, yeah, I think I hit 1 or 2 that far myself. Shohei's hit just about every home run, it seems like, that far. It's the 10th home run this year that's gone at least 440 feet. Now one at 454. And the Angels hand a 3-run lead to Carlos Estevez. One of the biggest all-star snubs today. Estevez being left off the American League All-Star roster. A 191 ERA, perfect in save tries. 20 for 20, a franchise record. Trying to lock down number 21 today and give a win to Reid Detmers. He's certainly deserving of one. McCarthy batting for Longoria to start the top of the 9th.
I mentioned the baseball carrying well in the day, and so you got to capitalize when you have an opportunity, when you get some lift on the baseball. 3 home runs for the Angels today. Trout, Moniak, Shohei.
Angels Live postgame presented by OC Navigator next. Breaking down the homers from the top of the order. Trout, Moniak, and Shohei supporting Reid Detmers today.
He tied him up on a fastball in off the plate.
31st home run for Otani.
Said hello to July now.
Bloop down the left field side. Rendon a long run, gets after it and can't quite reach it.
Rendon running back, just trying to reach out, make that play down that left field line in foul territory. Playing well off the bag at third base with a lefty at the plate and with 2 strikes.
Held his swing there, and it's 1 ball, 2 strikes on McCarthy. And then way inside as
looks like the pitch count went off. The glove of Theis.
Some kind of piece of equipment that Theis had. 2 balls, 2 strikes on McCarthy, with Carson Kelly. Dominic Fletcher due up behind him here in the top of the 9th. Hit up the middle and a base hit for McCarthy. Estevez left that slider up. So the leadoff man on for the Diamondbacks here in the 9th inning as the Angels try to pull off a win. They've never been swept by Arizona. And trying to make sure it doesn't happen here today.
Another pinch hitter coming up.
And it's Corbin Carroll.
Carroll's coming to the plate now.
It's the first plate appearance of this series for Carroll. He's been out because of a sore shoulder. He hurt his shoulder hitting a home run a couple of years ago in the minor leagues, and it took a lot of time to come back, and when he did come back, he was basically as good as he had ever been. Carroll had a great year in the minor leagues last year, got to the big leagues toward the end of last season, and then only 32 games into his major league career, he was given an 8-year contract worth $111 million. He has paid that off so far this year. Ground ball to second. Fletcher has it, gets it to Velasquez. One over to first, not in time. Carroll too fast to turn two on that play, but a nice job by Fletcher to get one.
Yeah, you're just looking for outs here in the 9th inning. Get that force out. Still got a double play in order. Oh boy, can he fly down the line? Wow. Yeah, pretty hard. Nice play by Fletcher to get that force out at second.
Carroll entered this series on pace for 34 homers and 47 stolen bases, which would pretty much mirror Mike Trout's rookie year. Trout is the only rookie to ever have a 30-30 year. He had 30 home runs and stole 49 bases in his rookie campaign, and Carroll's numbers are similar.
He got down the line in 30.8 feet per second. Elite speed.
Throw behind him at first, close play, but Carroll slides in safely.
Moustakas is looking, and I think he got his foot in there from our angle.
The Angels want to review it.
Well, because a little bit of disconnect, though. He got back quick enough, but as the foot is up off the air, off the bag there, does he stay connected with the tag?
Los Angeles is challenging the safe call at first base.
We'll see. It looked like Carroll did get back initially, and
as long as that foot is off the base briefly, and if Moustakas keeps the tag, that foot is back. Still has a tag off, and then it's gonna be close. There's a couple times there's a little disconnect.
I've seen more of these replays in the past than we have this year of when that hand or foot is coming off the bag in a brief moment. And we've often seen those plays at second base on a stolen base attempt where a head first dive, and then there's that moment where nothing is touching the bag. And the runner has been called out after initially being ruled safe.
It is real close. Definitely beat the throw initially.
That foot kind of flopping around.
But really, if you're able to go and change that in your right direction, it's worth the gamble, especially here with 9th inning.
After review, the call stands. The runner is safe. Los Angeles will lose their challenge.
I figured there was nothing there to overturn it, at least not enough there, so Carroll remains at first. And Estevez will go to work against Dominic Fletcher. Angels with a win today can gain some ground on their wild card competitors. The Yankees lost to the Cardinals. The Blue Jays lost to the Red Sox. The Astros won, but they beat Texas, so that could help the Angels get closer to first place in the AL West as well. So there's ground to be gained all around today if the Angels can get 2 more outs. 5 games left until the All-Star break after this one. All of them technically on the road, but all pretty close by.
Still some real good life on this fastball for Carlos Estevez.
Estevez has had a tremendous first half, trying to keep his save streak going. It's 2 balls, 2 strikes on Fletcher. 20 saves in 20 tries No Angel reliever had ever done that before. Fletcher with a fly ball. Right field side, long run. David Fletcher the closest to it, and he can't quite reach it.
It tried to work its way back into play there. Saw it earlier when Moniak went towards that foul territory and towards the wall, and it drifted back close to even a fair ball.
Dominic waits for his brother to get back into place. This has to be surreal to be on a major league field with your brother.
Battle here.
Think about how hard it is for one guy to make the major leagues, let alone two from the same immediate family. Yep. It's nuts. Dominic Fletcher continues to spoil pitches. Full count. Tying run on deck if Fletcher can reach. It's Perdomo in the on deck circle. Then Alec Thomas behind him. Down to the bottom.
This is a real important pitch here for Carlos.
And there's 3 balls and 2 strikes. The 19th pitch of the inning coming for Estevez. Throw to first. Diamondbacks have used a few people off their bench already, so they don't have a whole lot left on the bench. Just Emmanuel Rivera and their other catcher Moreno. They hit for Carson Kelly in this inning, so we could see Moreno. Fletcher golfs one towards center field. Mike Trout backs up, has room. And 2 away here in the top of the 9th.
There's a battle, but the more important thing there for Carlos Estevez is getting that out. Fletcher battle him. Fly ball, center field for Trout.
Geraldo Perdomo is due up. Perdomo walked in his only plate appearance today. It takes off from first. Carroll sprints to second base. Ultimately defensive indifference, but Corbin Carroll made sure to turn the Jets on anyway.
Yes, just to show how fast he can run. Show that enough going down the line.
He's been sitting around a few days. Had some energy to expose, I guess. Estevez gets a called strike on a pitch that was around the top of the zone. So he's ahead 0-2 on Perdomo. That one a little bit too high. In there, strike 3 called. Saying goodnight to the Diamondbacks. The Angels take 1 as they grab the finale of this series. Carlos Estevez remains perfect in save tries. Should have been an all-star. 21 out of 21 as Estevez strikes out Perdomo. And the Angels homer their way to a 5-2 win, supporting Reid Detmers today.
Yeah, Reid Detmers was very, very good once again. Mike Trout with a home run in the first inning, 93rd time he has done that. Mickey Moniak, a 3-run home run, and then Shohei with a mammoth home run. And then Carlos Estevez, 21 for 21. The power, the top of the order, the outstanding pitching, great bullpen work too in this game. The Angels able to win this one and pick up their 45th win of the season.
Well, it's going to be a tough time against Zach Gallen today, but the Angels had a couple homers early, and then Shohei clobbered one at the end. 454 feet. That was the insurance run in the bottom of the 8th inning off the bat of Otani. Mike Trout hit one in the first, and Mickey Moniak with a 3-run homer in the second. Moniak's home run that ends up being the difference maker today as the Angels score a 5-2 win, gaining some ground in the wild card picture and in the American League West as well, as the Angels beat a tough pitcher and had their own tough pitcher out there today, as Detmers once again was solid and picking up his 2nd win of the year. His last 5 starts, Reid Detmers has been on some roll.
He's been unreal the way he's been throwing the baseball. The confidence is back.
Just needed the offense to support him today. Detmers typically has not had much run support, but he did today, and 3 of those runs came off the bat of Mickey Moniak's home run. In the bottom of the 2nd, Mickey is standing by with Carlin Bathe.
Thanks so much, guys. Mickey, being able to put up some offense today for your pitcher out there, you contributing with a 3-run home run. Tell us about that moment for you and how you guys were able to maintain that lead.
Yeah, you know, Det's been pitching great, you know, his last few starts, and, you know, it was nice to put some runs up there for him, and, you know, that's a good pitcher over there in Zach Gallen, and to be able to scratch her off 4 is huge. So, yeah, just looking to ride this momentum into San Diego.
Well, what was different about today's momentum coming in as you guys were offensively trying to put more runs on the board? How did this game differ? What was the approach compared to the last 2 games in this one?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think that we just put together good at-bats, and, you know, we really locked in our approach against a tough pitcher over there, and, you know, I think the big thing today was we were able to get those key hits, and, yeah, good to come out on top.
Well, you guys head to Petco Park tomorrow. How excited are you? You know, your hometown down there, so you can have some friends and family out at the game?
Oh, it's going to be packed with friends and family. You know, it'll be my first time playing there, being in the big leagues, but, you know, I'm excited to take it to them.
And how about this Angels crowd here today on a Sunday?
Oh, it's incredible. Angels fans have shown up, you know, all year, and we really appreciate you guys, and, you know, just keep coming out. We're going to keep grinding it out and, you know, take it into the postseason.
Well said, Mickey. Congrats on the win.
Thank you.
Guys, back upstairs.
An important win for the Angels today as they defeat the Diamondbacks 5-2. Mike Trout homered in the first. Mickey Moniak's 3-run shot gave them the lead. And Shohei hit one for good measure at the end as the Halos avoid a sweep. Now they'll go to San Diego to take on the Padres starting tomorrow. For Marco Mazzan, Erica Weston, I'm Wayne Randazzo. As the Halo shines brightly tonight, the Angels win. Angels Live postgame is next.